I'm here.
Alrighty. Okay. Recap for last time, please.
Who doesn't have inspiration?
I gotta be real. I don't think any of us do because we all
Y'all
used all
used
of it.
it. Yeah.
This is like your whole thing right now, I guess, between Marco and Hunter. So I think one of them should give the recap because it's important to them.
That's a okay. All right, you're
Very
throwing us under the
poignant.
bus
Very
in a very
poignant.
specific way.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure, I can give a recap. So we started the last session, kind of in recovery mode after a particularly tragic event. Um, Picking ourselves up after having been thoroughly trounced by a sinister businessman. Um, Kind of taken stock. We're down a couple of relics. Uh, we're down a couple of people. Um, and well, we're down some team synergy because we start off with Certus being the last man on the battlefield, collecting the bodies of both Gain and Not Pala. And after some shenanigans involving the seed of second chance that was won at a festival some time ago, Pala is revived in the form of Ayana, some sort of uh, mostly emotionless, like husk equivalent of Pala. Um, and the party reconvenes at their hotel, and they sort of try to figure out a way forward. And in the form of stealing a heart from a nearby hospital, and hospital is maybe generous because it was stolen from the chest cavity of someone within the hospital. But nevertheless, a very qualified team of experts involving Certus and Isidore managed to abscond with a heart fit for young Gain. And after some deliberation about the feasibility and also on a scale from 1 to 10 how pissed off are the gods going to be about all this, um, it is decided that the heart would be used, and a raise dead was cast, and Gain is with us once again, with several levels of exhaustion and a plan to hopefully bolster themselves with the help of an artificer after finding some sort of inspiration in the not quite afterlife. Um, After that, there's there's a bunch of discussion about kind of how we move forward, but we take some rest, think on it. We wake up. Ayana finds Kalesh, has a lovely discussion about a number of metaphors and the understanding of or earning an understanding of the abyssal gods, and then also being given a bunch of things. Ayana returns. Kalesh is discussed, and it seems like our path forward, at least for the moment, involves kind of not necessarily teaming up with Kalesh, but well, Kalesh certainly seems to have an idea of what Zetno is up to, and if Kalesh can be trusted / recruited, we might be able to start to build up our strength once again through potentially a new relic and potentially new allies. Uh, is that everything?
Yep. You've gained the
Great.
inspiration, Ion.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, so that is correct. You guys are currently, right now, in like this ruined hollow Looks to be like partial ruins from some time in the past, presumably Great War or maybe sometime since. Looks like it's just not been used for quite a long time, and it seems that Kalesh and the Abyssal Cult have added have like modified it and made it a functioning base. When you guys started approaching, you had seen that there were like these the demised creatures, shadowy versions of like hyenas and like vultures and like other animals that you have since already seen before. There's also like a weird version of what looks to be like a leopard as well. You see a couple other things. Seems to be a collection of other animals outside the ones you've already kind of seen before. And it's just like the weird, that same like kind of the shadowy version of them. But they seem incredibly passive, at least while they're in and around the property here. Kalesh brings you guys inside. Your weapons are left out with a sort of like guard member of the Abyssal Cult as you're brought inside. And inside you see like the ruins kind of like lead a little bit further down a bit and like into the ground itself, almost like a bunker-esque spot. And you see like there's hallways that kind of lead to other areas, but Kalesh just kind of just brings you along to this like one room, fairly open. It seems to have like a few tables. Seems to be almost like a strategy sort of room. It's like chairs and the like here. He says, "Please make yourselves comfortable. I called my two leaders to help join us and to speak of what we may know, so that way we can bring you into the collective as well, at least knowledge-wise." And you see coming in immediately a like lioness, like demised creature, just jumps into the room with you guys and like starts growling, and it has. It's like very sleek, almost like elven features to it, as like its fur it's like completely black, like wisps and like streaks of white going through it, and like this very long, very elongated mouth, and like with like very long canines. With this like lioness jumps in here, starts growling, and you guys hear "Peppa, no!" As this an elven woman. Super long black hair, braided, very very pale complexion, and like dark makeup. She has like black lipstick and like sunken eyes, kind of vibe. She goes, "Peppa, that's not a way to meet our guests." And as she like brings her hand out, the lioness kind of goes over, stops growling, and the woman starts like petting the lion. She says, "Sorry about that, lovelies. Peppa here is a bit protective with our members. That was her way of greeting you." Kalesh says, "Everyone, this is Genva, our animal handler." She goes, "Well then, nice to meet you all."
Jen, nice to meet you too. Well, we're Bad Benefits, so
Bad Benefits?
we're honored
What
you
kind
have
of
us.
name is that one?
It's a complicated name.
Yeah, what's the bad benefit? What is a bad benefit?
Sometimes our help doesn't always work out like we expect, but it usually turns out to be a benefit.
Interesting, a sort of play on words in that case. Who came up with it?
That was Greg, right? Greg, you came up with that. Right?
I don't think I did. Wasn't it June?
June came up with that? Oh.
There's no June in the party. I'll take credit.
Yeah, Certus came up.
Yes. I would never say these words, but I did come up with it.
Wow, look at you. You got some age on you, but you still got a capable mind, it seems. All right then. All right. She kind of like sits in the corner, starts petting the lion. And then like Kalesh says, "Genva, have you seen Scout?" Genva goes, "Darling, and if anyone sees him, that'd be an incredible feat. I'm sure he's in here somewhere. And just as she says that, Kalesh like turns around, and all of you guys see a person that was there before. That's like just there, but was clearly not there before. They have a tray of like small little sandwiches and like little bits of tea. They put it on the table. You see a like tiefling, like heavy robes and stuff like that. A mouth that like a face cloth that covers their nose and mouth. You just see like these two eyes, these two yellow eyes, just like staring at you guys. He just like puts the tray down. He doesn't say anything. He just kind of like just gives a bow. As Kalesh goes, "You'll have to excuse Scout. He does not have the ability to speak." And Scout just kind of like nods and like sits down. He actually signs something to Kalesh, and Kalesh signs back.
What do they say?
Scout just says teas and sandwiches as you requested, and he goes, "Interesting individuals. Are you sure we can trust them?" Kalesh just goes, "They are capable. We'll see how this plays out."
I'll sign back to Scout. It's an honor to have us. Thank you for letting us in.
Make an insight check.
Okay. That'll be 20 total.
You see his eyes go wide, and he like almost stumbles back a bit as he recognizes, "Holy shit! There's someone else that can speak sign language. Oh my god!" And you see like he immediately signs to you and says, "It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is simply Scout." And he's just like, "How do you know sign?"
There was an elder in my village that also was hard at speaking. My name is Isaac.
He goes, he like bows actually deeply and like genuinely this time, and kind of sits in the corner. Kalesh goes, "Right, so these two are my sort of right and left hands. Scout is incredible at, scouting, as per his name, his title, truly. And finding out information for what we need. Generally takes care of the animals that is part of the cult. And I am the sort of de facto leader of this little merry band. So yes, this is, and he this is bad benefits. We were at odds before in the past, but it seems that they were interested in helping us recover a relic and rescuing Rakath, the World Eater." He just says, "Before we get started into things, what prompted this, if I may ask?"
I wanted to come see you. I heard you ran into Ayana, and I just wanted to come say hi, I guess. Well, that's me, at least. I don't know about you, Isaac.
Oh, me? Well, I think Grig's reason is a good reason to come see you. We had a complicated meeting last time, so I guess it would make sense why it would be kind of confusing that we're here now. Just the other day, we had a run-in with Zetno, and most of us barely escaped with our lives, and it caused me to reflect on some things I haven't thought about before. In the end, across Solaris, people are just trying to do what makes them happy. And I remember the last time that we fought, it didn't feel like you were fighting us for a sake that was really too different from my own. You see, I'm trying to bring my own god back, or I was, up until the other day at least. So I kind of understand your feeling, if that was your only goal, but I realized maybe the world was as simple as I thought it was. So I think I'd like to help, do what I can for the people who need it, and the people that are in front of me.
You see Kalesh at first like have like a, not really grimace, but like a furrowed brow, kind of like listening to you for a bit, and then like as you start speaking towards the end, he just like nods along and says, "Yes, it seems, yes, we do get a bad rap. That is for sure, certain. We are called the Abyssal Cult, but it's not as if and we worship these abyssal gods, but it's not as if they come from the abyss. They were given these names as a way for people to fear them. Because they simply did not like them, that it was parts of the world they sought to change and to get rid of. We are a collective. Typically, people who come to us are not misguided, so to speak, but outcasts is the word. Or they don't fit in truly anywhere, or have had a troubled past. In my case, I was born into a family that was a devout worshippers of Lucius the Lawbringer. Every single time, every single day I was forced to read scriptures, to pray non-incessantly. My parents, they wanted me to be Lucius's chosen. However, I was born with these black wings, and he kind of has the wings on his back. Lucius's theme is of light and purity. They saw mine as similar to that of a crow's and representative of death, so they sought to do their best to purify me in whatever way they thought possible. My family was cruel. Very cruel. For worshippers of a god, they were not entities of compassion, at least not to me. So, at my lowest, when you see he kind of swallows a bit, recounting things. He goes, a certain incident occurred, and at my lowest, on death's door, I called out. I suddenly became incredibly furious from once there was apathy, and called out to whatever would help me. And the Abyssal Gods responded. I heard them. They granted me their power, and next thing I knew, I woke up. My family was no longer an issue. And I found myself in a world without really knowing about who I was, where I was, or what kind of kindness the world would have to offer to me. So little by little, I made my way out until I met with Brodevint, who then sort of took me in and helped me find individuals like Genva and Scout and everyone else here who are similarly outcasts from their own groups. Jenna speaks up and says, yeah, right, I was part of the Carmire Druids. They didn't like the way I thought about the way to best preserve nature, so to speak. It's a bit of a long story, I don't mind going into it, but for the sake of the discussion here, let's just say we didn't see eye to eye, so figured why not avail myself to some people who actually seem to care. And she kind of scritches Peppa at her side. Scout just says, starts signing to you, Isaac, and then Kalesh kind of interprets. Scout says that he was a born orphan. Basically, he never had parents. He doesn't remember anything about his parents. He just grew up in the streets of Handria, where, it's tough to be an orphan because in that city, you have to have a little bit of wealth to get anywhere, and as an orphan, you don't really get anything. But he made friends with a few individuals, and through those friends, he kind of started enjoying the life until a certain incident occurred, and two of his friends were branded traitors to the country. One of his other friend left Handry entirely in search of greener pastures, just leaving Scout to fend for himself. And Scout just got better and better at doing what he does until, Brodevint had found him and brought him into the collective. You guys do sense there's more to these stories if if you want to know more about them, you can ask. They didn't seem particularly like reserved for it. They just kind of like left out details for the sake of the conversation right now. And Kalesh goes, the main idea here is that we do not fit into the way the world is right now. We do not fit into the laws and the societal conventions and the way we are expected to work or to survive or to do whatever. We find that those most receptive to our plight are those in similar situations to us. We learned eventually that the abyssal gods are not from the abyss, but are gods of nature. And their imprisonment feels unfair to us in a similar sense, that they are outcasts to the gods the same way that we are outcasts to our peers. Let's just say that we aim to provide freedom where we can. And a way of doing so would be to have the embodiments of freedom be free, if that were to make sense. Their imprisonment does not affect the world truly. I mean, Rakav, for instance, is the god of famine, but despite his imprisonment, people and animals still go hungry. It's not as if hunger has been eliminated. Same thing with Bishahat. The desert still exists. There are still locales that are devoid of water. Orala, there are still diseases and plagues that roam the land. It's a simply we do not believe that their imprisonment is just and deserved, and we seek to free them for the reason of our own beliefs and values.
What is it that they want?
Kalesh goes, the same thing any creature would want: freedom. They are imprisoned. They simply want to exist as they are. They are creatures of the earth.
I see. I'm sorry to hear that all of you have gone through so much until this point. I think it's only natural that people who have found a family like you guys seem to have would want to help each other. And you'd also want to help the gods that helped you. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. In fact, all I can find in your stories is sympathy. I'm sure if I was in any one of yours, I'd probably be here now. And I'm in my own shoes, and we're here now, so I guess we can't actually be that different. Make sure to sign to Scout as well. I'm happy that you guys have found family here. And yeah.
No, you keep going.
And I look at Kalesh, and I'm sorry that I assumed so much about the Abyssal Gods before.
You see that Kalesh nods, Scout signs, your empathy speaks volumes, and Jenna is like in the corner with a smile, like nodding, and says, "You're not so bad there, are you, handsome?" And Kalesh kind of goes over to you, Isaac, and reaches out a hand.
I'll smile warmly, and I'll have his hand.
You shake. You guys shake as Kalesh nods and says, "Then I'm glad that my original assumption was valid. You are not enemies to us. For that, I can say for certain. Now, I did bring you in for the sake of helping us find the relic and the releasing of Rakath. That being said," he looks over to Genva and to Scout and says, and then back to you guys, and he says, "That being said, should you require assistance from us, I would feel that is only fair. Is there anything in particular you would deem us to help you with?" before we get into the nitty-gritty of freeing Rakaf.
Yeah, actually, you've already run into her once, but Ayana here, she could use some new armor and weapons in order to be help. She has like a part of Palace spirit, it seems, but I think as far as physical weapons go, she's going to be different. If you could help armor her, I'd greatly appreciate it.
He nods and says, I do not think that will be an issue. And he says, very well. It is getting rather late. It is almost time for dinner.
I would like to ask a question.
Yes.
I am still learning of this world, and so I will not presume to understand everything there is to know about these abyssal gods. But I do know that Pala hated the gods. Now, I do not hate them. I do not feel any particular way about them. But I would ask if freedom is what you desire for the world. I do not understand how making a decision on behalf of everyone is indicative of this.
You see, he kind of nods for a second and says, when it comes to what we mean by freedom, while it is true, we are seen as a bit more misguided or evil in our intentions. That there are probably many who would see that these gods we worship not be freed. We also believe that to us, freedom indicates being who we are despite the expectations or reservations of the world around us. We do not believe that the freement of these gods would cause true panic and disarray, in the sense that they do not seem to care about our civilization and the way that humans, and that's us as a collective species, seem to survive and live in our world now. Does that make sense?
I'm not sure. From the perspective that I have been spectator to, the existence of gods, and as they are free in the world that we live in, seems to enable their use for the consolidation of power, and that many of the injustices people face are as a result of the intervention of gods, or gods bequeathing their power to others. I am unsure, I suppose, whether they should exist at all. It's a question I do not have an answer to. I do not expect you all to have an answer to. And I will follow whatever it is that you all deem fit to continue my mission.
You see Kalesh nods, almost in agreement. He's like, hey, you would be correct. There is a lot of general misuse of power. We find that a lot of it comes as a sort of way that we as a collective establish ourselves with higher power versus lower power, or higher collective of means and resources versus those who do not have the same means and resources. To us, it is about evening the playing field, helping those who have been wronged, such as ourselves. We agree that the way things are now is not sustainable, nor is it conducive to a good, wholehearted society. In that sense, we also believe that the way our current gods work does not make sense to us. In my case, I was a follower of Lucius, and despite all my prayers, he never reached out to me, or he never bequeathed me with any sort of problems, or he never bequeathed to me any sort of blessings, or all that my parents would deem me to have. In that sense, I find them to be largely unjust of their own. I find them largely unjust as well. We find that these gods actually listen and will help those who require their power to make a better means for themselves. I wish to talk more with you, Ayana.
Perhaps.
He says, on that note, I believe it is time for me to hunt us up a dinner. He says, Ayana, would you be so kind as to join me?
Sure. Just start just following him.
He and you start heading out as Scout and Genva remain, and Genva says, right, well, good old Kalesh will be grabbing us a bit of grub. In the meantime, will you guys be staying here joining us for dinner? We have a space for you.
Yeah, I'd like to stay. But the rest of you guys.
Do you need any help preparing?
I think that would be lovely. What was your name again?
Gain. Excuse
Gain.
me, I'm not feeling myself just yet. We've had a very eventful few days, so excuse me if I'm a little
So you
winded,
say?
but I will help.
By all means, don't feel as if you gotta force yourself. I noticed your bear there. Is that quilted wood?
It is, as a matter of fact, yes. I heard you speaking earlier about your past affiliations. I also, belonged to the Carmire for some time in my life.
Oh, you belong to those stuffy stuck-ups. Well, hope we can still get along then, even though I've kind of abandoned them.
I see no issue there. I would like to hear more about it, though, if you'd be willing to share. Maybe we can discuss while we cook.
Now that sounds lovely. She says, "Come on, Peppa." She pets her lion. You and her start heading off. Scout just sits down in the room waiting, and just kind of going over and just comes up to you, Isaac, and he just starts signing and says, and kind of just generally inquiry about you from a very shadowy, very silent person. You see there's a bit of enthusiasm and interest in connecting. So he just kind of asks you about a bunch of stuff about your life.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna take a corner with Scout. And I'll be happy to answer any question he has and sign a warm smile back at him.
Make a persuasion check for me.
Sure. $23.
Okay. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I
You
guess.
know what I'm up to.
Yeah, I think Isidore's just gonna kind of walk around and explore the area they're in, see if anything interesting comes up.
Yeah, make a perception
Anything demise
or
rated.
investigation check.
Sure.
Or religion check, actually. That might be good.
So investigation, perception, or religion.
Yeah.
It's 2. Perception is a 1. Investigation is a 2. Okay, I'll do religion then. Why not? $17.
17. Yeah, you look at all these creatures. They have the like emblem of like demise. They feel as if they are being gifted power from like demise. They are beasts in the true like nature of it. This is like a very much. This reminds you of your time with your group of people in the past. Like it's super similar. Kalesh was you once. Right, like
Right. No, yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, this feels like home to you. It's very nostalgic. As you're like looking at these things. And again, the creatures are very entirely passive. That being said, you don't know make an insight check actually. Just a general insight check.
Okay. 24.
The way they were talking about the abyssal gods and things of that nature, you're not entirely certain if Kalesh is even aware that demise exists. He keeps speaking of 4 gods. He never spoke of 5.
That might make sense. Yeah. All right, Isidore's just gonna kind of like smile mischievously. Where is Kalesh right now?
Kalesh has wandered off with Pala to hunt. If you wanted to catch up with them, you could. They're just going to be in the
Pala's
forest.
back.
Sorry, Ayana. Ayana and Kalesh are out hunting right now. So you could follow them if you wanted, but this seems like they're...
Yeah. Isidore will... would it be like intruding on, I guess, like any sort of important conversation they'd be having?
As you get close to them, you do hear like Kalesh is like starting to explain something to Ayana, for sure. It seems like he specifically chose Ayana to talk to her. It's like a bit of alone time with the two of them.
Isidore will just hang back and just hang out. I guess I'll hang out with Grig, see what Grig's up to.
Grig.
Yeah.
On that note, Grig, what are you up to?
Yeah.
Just sitting there, like twiddling his thumbs. Took us all here so we could see Kalesh, his buddy. Now everyone's gone and doing their own thing, and it's just Isidore and Certus and Grig. He's just, like almost like a kid, just like bouncing his knees and like, just like really disappointed, but he's not. But he's just like smiling through it.
All right. Okay, Krieg.
Listen, Certus. Just wanted to say again, I'm really sorry.
Oh,
Right.
About the leaving me behind. It's okay. I don't hold grudges.
You said, what would my granddad do?
You're right.
And he left me. So.
Okay.
It's the only thing I
you're right.
really knew what to do.
Yeah, I had a poor choice of words. I thought it would be more like, your granddad would be more brave or something, but I guess, you're not wrong. It's okay though. I forgive you. I'm alive, as you can see. Anyways,
Thanks to me there.
it's fine. I've lived through so much. I think I'll live through more probably. I mean, what's my chances of living? I survived that guy, the guy that almost killed all of us.
I mean, yeah, you did great. I'm really happy that you weren't stabbed through the heart, and then
Yeah.
no one would be able to heal you. You know?
Exactly. Right. See, I'm just lucky, I guess. Whew. All these years and all my prayers and everything have been answered, so I can't do anything but thank my own god, Nitris, the god of death. Except for he doesn't want to give me death, which is totally fine. I just I'm doing his his stuff that he wants me to do. So what's your takes on these abyssal god things?
I mean, honestly, I don't really understand them, to be honest.
Right. Yeah, they're all chained up or something, and my god or some gods put them there, right? Is that what happened?
I think so.
Okay, so what you're saying is my god put them there, and we're trying to free them?
So, I mean, I'm guessing it's because they do bad things. Like, one is, the
Like,
plague
really-
bringer or something like
yeah.
that.
Like famine and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And you said this guy's your friend, Grieg, the Kalesh man?
Oh, yeah, we went to hell together. That was fun.
Ah, you were both in hell together.
That's right. I ate an apple, and then I went poof, and, I was in hell, and then
Then you made
Leshy
friends
was like, he was like, slice, slice, and then someone was like, ew, let's do an orgy, and then, and then we saw some god guy. I forgot I don't remember. He's like the ruler or something. He was not very memorable. Anyway,
Wow, I expect things in hell to be memorable, but I guess it's hell. So
I
it's
know,
even
I know.
Right, yeah.
There was also some little dude. I guess I'm little, so he's pretty big. He's the ice devil. We killed him. He killed Pala actually for the first time.
Oh, Pala
crazy.
died before.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh.
Yeah, that's when
wow.
June revived her.
Oh, June. Wow, such a okay.
Yeah,
The cleric before me, right? That's the
that's
person.
right. Yeah.
Ah, now I wonder if they're doing well or
Except
dead.
Pala was like also stabbed through the heart, and she was able to just bring Pala back. I don't really know what your issue was.
Well, the thing is, there was no heart. It wasn't even stabbed in the heart. The Gain had 0 heart.
What happened to it? It
I
just
don't
went
know.
Poof?
I
It went to
I
hell,
thought it
just
was-
like me.
Maybe Gain's real heart is in hell right now. I don't know how organs work. I only know
Where
how
is
magic
the
works.
heart?
Which heart? Gain's heart?
Yeah.
It's in Gain, right? Oh, you mean the one that we stole and got for Gain?
No, the original heart. Like,
I don't know. If anything, he ate it or something. He just stole it. Kind of like how your friend
what-
Isidore there, like kind of like maybe he just quickly ate it. Like this guy would eat hearts.
So Sitner's got werewolf stuff. Not
Oh,
that's like a
right.
vampire thing, though, right?
Oh, I think the blood is the vampire thing. Maybe werewolves just like eating organs.
I don't think so. Did you see him eat the heart?
He was so fast, I couldn't see anything. I was also trapped in my own bug swarm because I was
So
trying
he's
to fend
he's
them
a
off.
fast guy, right? And so he he
right.
kills Gain, stab, and then he
Yes.
just like quickly scoops in, grabs the heart, and like chunks it in one go, right?
And to be fair, I was concentrating on keeping Paula or Frappe banished, so I didn't really get to see the whole play out there. So
Gain, Gain, do you remember? Did
You go running
Zeno
after
eat
Gain.
your heart?
Can I hear them?
You guys go running after Gain to ask her this.
we have this is serious. We have to know.
Hi. What was that? Sorry.
Did Zetno eat your heart? Do you remember if he ate it?
Did he? I don't remember.
What
much.
happened to it?
I simply don't know. Why do you ask?
Isidore, can you go through and find it?
Wait, Isidore, you didn't
sorry,
eat
what now?
it, did you? Okay.
Because you have like the modify memory thingy, right? What happened to Gain's heart?
That's a great question there, Greg.
You didn't need it, did you?
No, of course, my boy. I would not eat Gain's heart. I wasn't even there at the time. I swear.
Right,
Scott's
that's
honor.
That's what I thought. Because I saw you and Isaac. You just went poof, right?
Right, it just kind of vanished on
Yeah.
us.
So I don't know how you would eat the heart, unless like, I don't know. What happened? Where'd it go?
Maybe he stabbed it so hard it exploded.
I mean,
But then there would still be bits in there, right?
Right, but I can't put together
Why don't
bits. I have to put
you two
together whole
discuss-
pieces.
I need to help with the kitchen work. I'm sorry. You mind
Oh,
taking
of
the
course.
discussion somewhere else? Maybe?
Oh, all right. I just wanted to find your heart again.
I very much appreciate it. But I need some time before I
Right.
really think about that.
Greg, you didn't even think about her feelings. Like, she just came back.
I mean, Gain's been pretty stoic, we're walking away. Gain's pretty stoic. I mean, she doesn't really express many emotions.
Okay, well, don't say it out loud. You know, maybe she has more emotions now with the new heart or something. And we're just like walking further away.
I mean, maybe she just doesn't like me, but, I don't see many emotions.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, have you done anything to make her not like you?
I mean, my wig is made of dead people.
Of what?
Dead people?
I'm gonna go pray real quick.
After you say made of dead people, Isidore is just gonna kind of like walk up again closer to you guys. Say what now?
My wig.
So just walks away to find a place to pray.
Your wig is made of dead people, Greg. Am I understanding this correctly?
It is correct.
Do you know who the dead people are, or is it?
I have absolutely no clue.
Fascinating. Can I have a little strand of your hair?
Yeah, go for it.
Isidore just kind of plucks off a strand of
Does
of
not
his
pluck
hair.
off.
It does not pluck off.
No.
He's gonna pull like a blade, like a dagger or something, and just try to like a knife or whatever it is, that needs to be, and try to cut off a bit of just one follicle of hair from Greg.
Does not break or cut.
Isidore's gonna want to really examine this hair. Is there like something I can
Yeah,
roll
make me
for?
a religion check.
Okay.
That's a
18.
religion check.
18.
That's
Looking at it, kind of like in really inspecting this, definitely magical for sure. You feel a like a gurgling, almost sick feeling in your stomach as you're kind of like looking at it and like kind of going through it. It's like perfect, but there's something about it that to anyone else would immediately be like, oh my god, there's something wrong. But to you, it's like you're not really picking up a curse. It's more of in sort of unholy, without it being unholy terminology. This was the result of a bunch of fucked up things happening to people. So it's not unholy,
Yeah.
quote unquote. There's no curse or
Yeah.
anything on it. It's just has a terrible history.
Do I pick up anything? I know it's just a religion check, but can I tell it Al maybe like what might have happened?
There's definitely no sign of like divine intervention or like any like evil gods or something like that. You get the sense that this is a person who serial killer for sure, like trophy maybe.
And you didn't make this, did you, Greg?
Nope.
Are you sure? Are you sure you haven't done anything? Well, where did you find this?
Oh, we found it in woods.
In the woods.
Yeah. Where Isaac did his thing.
Is what?
His thing. He did a thing in the woods.
That means nothing to me, Greg. What do you mean he did a thing in the woods?
He
took
did
a tinkle?
Thing. No, he like. I think there was like a bunch of people in the Desmoda Wildwood. It was like his people, right? Something like that. I wasn't listening for most of it, but there was this wig.
Yes.
And they said bad things happened with the wig.
Yes, I got that much.
And then I put the wig on because I thought it would look good.
You
And he
thought-
does, right? And then he like flips his hair.
It's perfect.
Amazing, Greg. You really are a man of interesting taste.
And he pulls out a piece of. I mean, I think a bunch of people were like murdered from for the wig, something like that.
Isidore doesn't want to continue this conversation anymore. He's learned more than enough than he needs to about Grig for the day. Well, Grig, enjoy your wig. Try not to do anything stupid. All right, goodbye. He just kind of walks off.
And there he is alone again.
Grig, you chew on some jerky somberly alone, while in the wilderness, Ayana, you and Kalesh are heading out. On the way, he stops by and picks up something. He says, armor for you, as he gives you +1 studded leather armor.
Nice.
Um,
I noticed that when we left the room, Greg got disappointed. Perhaps I should not have left him.
I'll be talking to him later. He's my little guy, you know. I can't leave him alone for too long.
He is quite small. I understand.
He's very small. He was the first one of you that I actually worked with in a friendly capacity. Anyways, and you guys start going into the wilderness a bit, and he says, "We are going to be hunting down shorebuck." And he takes a bow and hands it to you and says, "You'll be the one shooting. I need to see your capabilities." You may add to your inventory a +1 longbow.
Nice. Shorebuck. What is this?
It is a subspecies of deer that lives around Port Alexia. They have developed large, very, very flat teeth and long, shaggy hair as a way to chew up the shells around here, along with sort of protecting themselves from the sand and the general humidity.
Do they share the same strange accent?
Not sure what you mean by that.
It's fuzzier than most of what I know from Allah, but there is something. Perhaps feels like I should not have seen it, but there is strange creature. Looks as you described, but made of bone, terrifying, instilling fear in all those around it. I will be on the lookout for this creature.
Interesting. You've had an interesting life beforehand. Best not to think about it until it happens, I suppose. Go ahead and make a survival check, and you can make it with advantage.
Sounds good. But is it going to? Oh, didn't roll. Second one is 22.
22. Very good. Yeah, you start picking up little bits of hair and stuff like that, and chewed up shell, and it's okay. There's definitely signs of a shorebuck around here, and you start heading through, and start hunting. Kalesh starts to say as you guys going through and following this trail. It's a little bit cold, so it's gonna take you a little bit to follow it and keep up with it to get it fresh again. He starts saying, "I know you were speaking on how Paula was focused on the chaos of the world and embracing it. I fear I did not do a good job in explaining my viewpoint. I know our cult is one that does embrace what people believe is chaos and discontent, and to that extent, your concern about us removing freedom from others, I could see where you're coming from there. But the chaos and discontent," he puts in air quotes, "we bring to us, that is freedom. Freedom to be who we are despite what expectations are thrust to us or what other people think we should be doing. For me, I despise the rigorous training in religious scripts and texts I'd read and practice. praying to Lucius over and over, trying to be his favorite, as my parents wanted. I wondered why that failed, why I was never good enough. When I reached my tipping point, when the abuse was at its worst, I was lying on death's door truly. I thought that was the end for me, and I instinctively reached out to whoever would listen. That is when the 4 gods granted me their power. They listened. They helped. That's when I awakened to find my parents blasted and dead on the ground. And in that moment, instead of horror and pain, I felt relief and a deep calm watch over me. My entire life was a series of large and heavy rocks rippling against the water of my soul, to use the analogy I did before. Ripple after ripple, trying to turn that water into something else. When all was said and done and everything stopped, when the water finally rested again, I realized that whatever I was, whoever I truly wanted to be, I could figure that out on my own time, in my own way. After that, as I met more and more people with situations similar to mine, be it being fully rejected from their communities, failure to meet expectations, or deep sorrow and frustration with the way our society currently works, I leaned more into the idea of what does freedom truly mean. I think we struggle and try to force things needlessly, to try and make people and things what they aren't. I think the Abyssal Gods are a perfect representation of that. They are gods of nature. After all, they are part of the nature of Solaris. Despite their imprisonment, people still feel hungry or thirsty. Storms, earthquakes, tsunamis, and the like still happen. People still get sick. Their removal does not change nature at its core. I guess what I'm trying to say is this. Yes, things will happen that will cause ripples in the lake of your soul. It is natural. You cannot stop it. What's important is to know that despite the ripples, the lake is still a lake. The rocks cannot change it despite their best efforts so long as the lake wishes to stay a lake. There is a peace to knowing that things don't have to be a certain way. To be able to accept the inherent chaos of life and recognize that all things shall pass and that your lake remains the same way. I fear this may have been what Pala was struggling with, though you know best. When you focus on the rocks, the ripple is all you'll see. And by trying to resist and to calm it and struggle against it, you'll only create more ripples. That being said, I'm not suggesting to do nothing and give up, but rather that the lake can be at peace without needing to force it to be at peace. I hope that makes sense. I know that this is simply something that needs to be felt more than simply told about.
I've heard your words, though I cannot guarantee that the meaning that you wish them to carry has been absorbed in the way you hoped it will. I can only promise that I've heard them and that I will consider them. But I must say that it is not my... Though I do ask questions for the sake of clarity for my mission, it is not my place to question the actions of others. I have my duty, and that is all that I need for myself.
Of course. And I do not expect you to feel a certain way with my words. The fact that you listened is more than enough for me. What you do with what I said is entirely what you decide. That is what I mean by what I was getting at earlier. Whatever, you may disregard the information entirely if you so wish. That is fine. It is your freedom to do so.
I can say that as things become more apparent, as actions take shape, I will be keeping a close eye on how this power is used. Because who's to say that someone in Zetano's position could not ask these gods for power himself? The power, it seems, though in your favor and certainly in an sympathetic state, they granted you the power that you sought, but should that power be granted to someone who you would consider undeserving, would that be an injustice to you?
You bring up a fair point. I believe my gods will do whatever they wish to do. If they so choose to grant that power to someone I do not deem worthy, well, it is not my power to give, I suppose.
And I believe it is this that what drove Pala to rage in some cases. This idea that the gods have some sway over the decision of who is given power and who is not. And would the world be a less unjust place if that level of power did not exist? Be granted.
Perhaps.
But I do not claim to know. This is the question. These are the questions that I am left with. I'm not expected to find the answers.
I understand. I sympathize as well. Ripples in the lake, I suppose. He like looks off as he says that, and I think you guys focus back on the hunt. Eventually, you do find your quarry. It looks like a very shaggy deer with like these weird, like rock-esque, like looking antlers, and like its teeth is like chews is like completely flat. It's almost like it has just two teeth that like are like mouth guards in a way. It's like chewing in the shells. He says, "All right, go for it."
Yeah, I'll take
Make
a
a-
steady step and make an attack.
Make an insight check.
All right. Wow, it's a nat 1 for a 13.
You can make it this with advantage based on because Kalesh is like there with you and his work based on his
Sure,
words.
I'll take a help action. Wow, that's a double nat 1.
Okay. I think at this point, you sit and plan to you bring your bow, begin to draw it, and do your best to do it. You may shoot your bow, but you cannot use your subclass feature as of yet.
That's okay. I'd like to think this will hit as well. Triple nat 1, let's go! That's not how that works. Why did it do that? It's a 25.
25. That absolutely hits. Go ahead and roll damage with a +1 longbow.
Excellent. It's... Why is it gonna... I need to figure out why this
Are
is...
you rolling on a D&D Beyond?
Yes.
Interesting.
It didn't do that before.
No,
I
yeah.
had to... After I reset all my whole situation, it's been weird. But 13 damage.
13 damage. It goes out. The deer, it hits straight on and goes to its side. And the deer, the buck dies and fall and like you got it straight through the heart. Kalesh says, "Very well done. All right, help me grab this." And you guys start to like grab it and start bringing it back. As this is doing, Certus.
Yeah.
You are in your corner. You cast Commune.
Yeah.
Okay. Remind me what the answers to the spell is. Is it just yes or no, or like the? Or is it
They
cryptic
can
phrase?
be vague.
Okay.
I mean, they can be cryptic phrases. They can be, I mean, very exact. They can be whatever. Pretty much like a bit cryptid, I guess.
You get back a message that says,
What does it say?
I'm trying to think of the best way I could do this in a cryptic, like vague way. Hold on.
You got this, champ. Love God.
He says, you see that Nitros doesn't immediately say, no, this is bad. Which, that alone, I think, is says something. But what you get back is a like whisper on the wind that basically says, the path towards revival has many ways.
Towards revival. In many ways. Okay. All right. He has a plan, probably. And then Sardis will just idle around.
Yeah, just idle, just sit there at NPC time. Actually, this is like, you guys are starting to think about this. I think, Grig, you brought up a good point earlier. You guys don't really know why the Abyssal Gods were sealed away. I think what happened was Orala said something to Pala, but it's entirely up to Ayana if she remembers that or not.
I think it would be similarly vague. That
Yeah.
Ayana, I think, would know that Pala spoke, but not
The
what
exact
of.
words. Yeah. So you guys are actually uncertain of how or when or for what reason the Abyssal Gods were sealed away. I think the most you know is that they were sealed away because they are scary gods. They are embodiments of plague and like disaster, drought, famine. They're naturally scary. But yeah, let's see. We took care of Surdis, Pala, Isaac. You're communicating with Scout with a 23 persuasion. You see, you start learning about Maple Grove. Scout starts learning about Maple Grove, and he says, "My friend Abel went north to Maple Grove, I believe, after we had an incident in my past as kids." So, you know who Abel is. It seems that this might be the same person. Isaac?
Sorry, my mic was.
Okay.
I'm signing back. Oh, you also know Abel. Yeah, actually. That is. I started explaining to him.
You start explaining to him what you know of Abel and like what he does. Scout communes back as like basically saying, "Hey, that's interesting because when they were kids, Abel was especially upset at their situation. Abel, and these two brothers that went by Valtek and Vetrian were all like orphans together in the streets. Valtek was like the group's big brother, and like Abel was especially like a troublemaker and got the rough end of it pretty consistently. With that win after Valtek and Vetrian caused the collapse of the gem mine, that Abel had left the city because things got truly bad for the orphans. That's when Scout had to leave. He actually lost his voice because of a particularly cruel individual that caused a beating. Abel kind of like dragged him, and then Abel got hit with something, and then Abel just kind of left, looking for greener pastures, so to speak. But Scout just said, he's just like, yeah, that's kind of interesting that Abel is okay, and he's working towards this. He would love to meet him again one day.
I'll smile back and sign. Hopefully you guys will. I think fate has a strange way of bringing people back together, like how Kalesh and we are brought back together.
He nods and says, one can only hope. At the very least, he fought against us at some point. I hope he still has a shred of empathy left.
That's fine.
Yeah. You talk about that. Let's see, anything. Oh yeah, Gain and Junva. Genva, sorry. Genva says. Eventually, they should you start preparing like some little bits of food in here, like getting some spices and stuff like that. This place is fairly stocked, honestly, for a random ruins out of nowhere. This place has bedding, amenities, food and stuff like that. They're not struggling by any means. It definitely looks like it doesn't really make sense. Like it only seems like they could have done this if they had some help. But Jennifer's like in the kitchen. Peppa is like using her claws to tear and like mince some meat together. As Jennifer says, "Right, so how long you been with the Carmire?"
Well, it's sort of a long story, I guess. Since I was born, more or less, I suppose. They raised me until I was old enough to get myself into trouble.
I see. All right. What part were you part of?
Well, I lived in the Quilted Woods, and I was taken care of very well. I'm sorry, I'm still not feeling myself, as I said.
All right.
Never died.
Well, certainly a
Um,
pretty major feat coming back from the dead then, if what I'm hearing is correct then.
I suppose so. It is a bit unnatural feeling, if I'm being totally honest. But, I'm not sure what to say. I respect their methods, but I also, without prying into your personal life, can imagine why you might have had objections. And I understand that people handle those things in their own ways. So I hope you don't judge me too harshly either.
Yeah, you can't worry about something like that from me. My main concern is if you're gonna act all high and mighty like the rest of the druids I know, but it seems to be a bit of a different sort. I don't mind talking about my kind of time. I never bought into that whole idea of preserving the quilted wood and keeping everything in perfect balance. I just feel like that leads to stagnation. I mean, ecosystems and animal life and plant life in this world hinge on the idea that it's going to be upset at some point. Things will adapt as needed. The idea of trying to keep something exactly as it is indefinitely just never struck me as something that was conducive to a healthy world. I mean, even if you look at the abyssal gods, right? You got famine, plague, drought, natural disaster. I mean, these things are just a part of nature, honey. Animals and plants adapt to that. That's why we got cactus, right? They exist to live in periods of drought. I don't know.
I see what you're saying. I do, but when you oppose the preservation of nature, then who are you throwing your lot in with? That's the thing that has always bothered me. I mean, I want to see things change for the better, but it seems like the people who want change often don't have the best of intentions. In my experience, it feels safer to defer to the people who want to protect the state of things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can see why you'd want to think about it like that. And you're right. There's a bunch of pricks and assholes out there. So I can see where you want that sort of preservation. I guess it's got to be our duty to get rid of all the pricks and let nature, let her rip. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. The people, well, I happen to know quite a few powerful people who want something from the Quilted Woods anyway. And I don't particularly enjoy their vision of what it could be. it's not something that is going to make things better for anyone, really, as far as I'm concerned. And while I think that we could do things better, who am I to really say, to dictate, you know?
I'm sure you got some nice ideas in that old noggin of yours. But I get what you're trying to talk about. Maybe it's best if this world had a bit of a, what's the right word I'm looking for? A bit of a mix-up, so to speak.
Maybe so. I was raised by them, and I understand the customs, but in a way I was never really fully a part of it, you know, especially in terms of worship. I felt very detached from it, and it's only recently, having met some new friends, that I've had a chance to kind of understand what it's all about, what it means to follow the teachings of some higher being, and feel like there might be something there, but I'm not quite. I don't think I've quite wrapped my head around it just yet. I do hope you weren't treated poorly. I care about them very much, and I want to find a way to protect their way of life without holding everyone else back, if that's even my decision to make.
For on my end, we just had a bit of a tiff as to what was the ethical decision to saving a particular life in the woods.
See, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's alright.
Really?
Bygone era. You know what I'm talking about? It's been years since then. I just got a question for you, though. She pets Pepper. What do you think they'd make of my little girl right here?
Well, what do you mean?
I'm curious if you think
Would you
they
do?
believe if she was not part of the natural order of things and try to get rid of her, or if they let her exist in the forest.
Well, what would you have her do? Roam free and hunt on her own, or would you try to help her acclimate to, the environment that she's living in?
Those two things sound like the same to me, if I'm going to be honest. Having Pepper run free in the woods and hunt as she pleases, that's her way of figuring out how to live in there. One day Pepper will have her, maybe little cubs of her own, and then probably fight a bear or a beast that's much stronger than her, bad matchup, and then whisked away into the woods. She pets Peppa as she says that, like still like very lovingly and like tenderly, but like of accepting like okay, that she may die at some point,
Nice.
and just goes. And at that point, her cubs are going to figure things out for themselves, adjust as they need to until they're part of the ecosystem, and the ecosystem adjusts accordingly. That's all there is to it, really.
Well, I don't know what they would make of it. I can't say I'm certain they would approve, but that I'm also not in a position to judge. I think that sometimes we have to think about what environment is best for the people we care about, and sometimes that requires tough decisions. We want to make sure that their needs are met, after all, right?
Suppose you're right.
But
Well, I'm happy to keep talking this jargon with you, but let's get ready for dinner.
sounds good. You seem a very responsible owner, so I trust your judgment when it comes to your own the people you care about.
Right back at you, lovely. You guys start making dinner. You see, like in the back, Kranich and Peppa start like playing together a little bit. They start like making a mess. Jenna goes, "Peppa, outside!" Not in the kitchen if you're
Oh.
going to be making kind of... What's the name of your bear?
Kranich.
Pepper, why don't
Actually,
you and
we may-
Kranich head outside?
Actually, as a matter of fact, he may be able to help us for just a moment before he leaves. I'm going to use Kranich's ability and grow. I guess I'm not sure what exactly he produces or how much control
What
I
do
have
you...
over it.
Yeah, what do you want him to produce?
I guess something seasonal, something, whatever would feel right to grow at this time of year in this place. Something that might contribute to the meal.
Kranich starts to grow like pumpkins and squash.
Oh,
Actually.
yeah.
It's gonna be various squash vegetables. Genva says, "Well, you guys is mighty impressive. I've never met an emerald bear that does something like that."
Well, neither have I. He's a product of my attempts to understand what it is that they believe in, I guess. I think there might be something to it, but I haven't quite pieced it all together yet. So let's focus on the cooking. So.
Yeah. The last thing she says is, "I wonder what your druids would think of Kranich then, if he's a part of nature or not. Food for thought, I guess."
She's very much a part of their home, I think. I'd like to think anyway.
She nods and says, "Same thing with Peppa for me." You guys begin to cook like this, like very good squash soup. Start getting it going here and there. Eventually, Kalesh and Ayana return, and you guys start having like this. You guys start preparing like this dinner. Eventually, you're all seated down like this big old dinner table. A bunch of This is like a big meal hall. You see like there's a bunch of other cultists that are just like being rowdy and like and talking with each other. Just everyone can make me a general like insight check.
Everybody?
Yeah, anyone who wants to may make one.
Do I still have disadvantage? I don't know how many days.
It's not disadvantage. You just have a -3 to this roll. Okay, so 0.
Nice. Just a dirty 0.
Just dirty 0. Gain, you look at these guys. They don't seem like a very well knit group. Honestly, there's a lot of like commotion and like butting heads among them. This is. You're a little unsure of these guys. Ayana, Certus, Isidore, and Isaac. You guys like look around. It seems like there's a lot of camaraderie and a lot of like banter that's happening here. These are not dreary people in the slightest. Or if there are dreary people here, whatever like. As just like talking, just being around their friends here just seems to animate these kind of individuals. And there's like all manners of type here. You see people with like deep, heavy scars along their body. You see that there are people like of all different age groups too. Primarily, you see people between like 20 to like between 20 and 40. But you do see like a few older individuals, like 50, 60, something like that. There's a decent amount of them here. It seems like this has become their main spot of operation, the main base of the Abyssal Cult, at least for now. And you see Kalesh, Scout, Genva join you guys in like a little bit of a dinner. It's a bit of squash and deer, and you guys are like eating and chowing down. It is quite delicious, very, very good. The squash especially tastes like it was just grown moments ago. After some time, Kalesh starts to say, "Well, I suppose now that we've broken bread together, I think it is time I tell you what the current situation is. The reason we are here is because, one, Port Alexia has become a easy means of us to acquire various resources But Brothervint has told us that has told us that this is a good way of us to be here, and she has people bring us whatever we may need in order to be here and the like. And he said, and he like, as you guys like were looking around, you did see that everyone has like very good clothing and armor. It's like very different than when you originally had fought them before. It seems like they've upgraded in terms of equipment, and you see that there's like an entire hall, or there was like an entire hall in the armory of like long rifled guns. Definitely more advanced in like the pistols you see on like guards and stuff like that. These are straight up gun barrels, similarly to that what you saw with Wendy, the Fontaine Special, but like less complex. And you see like there are very nice weapons here and there. The very fact that Ayana got a +1 longbow and studded leather just off the cuff seems to say that like these guys are doing much better for themselves than you guys had previously stated before. And he continues to say, likewise, we are also somewhat close to the Shrine of Rakath. The only thing that we are really missing is the relic itself. We are currently looking for the Koiko fruit seed. Nature checks. Anyone that would like to make one?
Okay.
Certus, you're not from here, bro.
Right.
10 was the DC, so thank Christ. Anyone above a 10, a Koiko fruit is a fruit that is native to the Solemn Desert. It is a little sparse. It's usually when a cactus is in like fruiting or like fruit season. Like a couple times a year, a Koiko fruit will be bloomed and then fall off the cactus for other creatures to eat and pass off. He says the relic of Rakath is a very minute petrified Koiko fruit seed. It is supposed to be the only withered plant within an oasis. We need to find an oasis in the desert. All we know is it's supposed to be somewhere to the southeast of where we are right now, but we've sent scouts time and time again, but can never find it. We are always have our sense of direction always is turned around, and we somehow end up right back where we started. This is supposed to be the same oasis that the legends of Bamati the Dusk Lord says was supposed to be there. It's called the Mirror, specifically. The only thing that Brothervint was able to sort of tell us was that we needed to be... It only reveals itself to the lost and to the desperate. So we've been having trouble figuring out what exactly that means, because I feel as if we are lost enough, but perhaps we are not too lost, too desperate. I do not know entirely.
I do not know if I can feel desperation. Perhaps this is not...
You're certainly lost enough. He slaps the table.
I'm sorry, is this not my seat? Should I be in a different seat?
You see, Genva just starts like laughing hysterically a bit and like high fives you, Greek.
Heck you!
It could be that you're not lost in the right way. Like, if you're looking for the seed, you're only one step away from actually being able to go to the Shrine of Rakath. But maybe, if you brought people that weren't so sure about where they stood in the world, maybe that would be the right type of lost. I don't know.
Perhaps. Anyone that would like to may make me a religion check.
Don't
You
mind
got
if I
it.
do.
I'll try.
20. Dirty 20.
Oh, 35?
Let's go. Let's go.
What'd you get, Isaac?
I didn't roll.
Oh, you didn't roll. Greg.
I got a 13.
Yeah, 13. Isidore, 19 religion. Isidore and Greg, you guys have heard of, like, the Dusk Lord's like fable or whatever. I'll say with a 20, Grig, specifically like it was a like I can read it out. That once upon a time, Bamati was you're known that Bamati often likes to take the form of various people and wander through the streets of cities that exist throughout Solaris. One time, he was wandering down the streets of Handria, encountering a caravan of rich merchants. Notably, that these merchants were very greed-filled, and that they saw a child, like one of the orphans in the street, notably starving. The child came up to them and asked for food, specifically a koiko fruit, staple of the desert. The plump and pompous woman who led the caravan produced a koiko fruit, ate it on the spot, and threw the seed at the child, and left the child and laughed and then left the child in the street. Bamati saw this interaction and moved to disguise himself as another poor peddler offering a rare, unique fruit. This being a golden koiko fruit made of pure gold. The caravan saw it and demanded to find the plant where it existed. Bamati said that only those that know the desperation of a starving child will know where to find it, but offered to lead them to it anyways. The peddler refused to do that and just demanded that the peddler go show off, and they would compensate the peddler as a result. Eventually, they went through the solemn desert, found a desert in the oasis. The peddler called it the mirror, and it would only show itself. Bamati said that it would only show itself, and the money would only be multiplied, and the fruit would only show itself if someone with intense wealth and power could cast away everything that made them powerful. The caravan leader laughed and threw all her money into the pond of the oasis and demanded that the pond grow a koiko tree, pretty much. And it did. A large, beautiful cactus tree that had blooming golden koikos. The caravan leader grabbed one, chewed into it, tasting an ambrosia they never thought possible. Because for whatever reason, as they ate, they grew hungrier and hungrier, more and starving and starving. And they just kept eating and eating. They ate to their fill, but they were still insanely hungry. But because they were so full, their body caused them to fall asleep. And the caravan leader when they awoke, found themselves in the rampant desert. There was no oasis. Their gold and wealth was completely gone. Bamati had tricked this woman into feeling what that orphan had felt, and had left her stranded in the desert. What you know, Grig, is the gold that this is supposed to have been a real story, and that the gold the caravan leader threw is supposed to still be in the desert somewhere.
Now, Kalesh, would you
Yes.
say that you want this more than anything?
I would say so, yes.
I need to know from the deepest part of your heart.
He looks at you and says, Grig, I would never lie to you. Yes, this is what I want from the heart of my soul.
Can I make an insight check?
Yeah, make an insight check.
Double check. 17.
Yeah, you see there's a look of vehement determination in his eyes. You can see him focusing in on that goal.
Greg, pulls out the compass and puts it on the table.
Kalesh looks at it, says, "What is this?"
This is the Baron's compass, the atlas.
No shit! The Baron's Atlas. I heard it was stolen by Greg Tinkerton.
That's right. Green did.
Your grandfather's Greg Tinkerton, no shit. Oh, well, we've got ourselves a bit of a rebel here. You'll fit right in.
Now, Kalish, I'm willing to let you use this to find what you need.
He takes the compass and says,
It stabs you in the face.
he looks at it and goes, but what does this do? Exactly.
I honestly have no freaking clue.
Huh.
But it's a compass, so I'm sure it'll take you where you need to go. Right?
A divine compass to lead us through to a oasis created by the god of illusion. You see Kalesh like starts piecing like things together. I'm gonna go roll for him real quick. He goes and says, "This could work. This could work. At the very least, it will help us with the whole lost aspect. But the desperation, I'm not entirely certain."
Well, we won't know till we get there, right?
I suppose so. This is a great boon, Grig. I must thank you for this. I feel as if it will work this time. You see Kalesh like stands up, and as he does, like he's the entire room like just like quiets down for a bit and like looks over to their leader. Those general insight checks before, everyone in this room has a deep respect and loyalty to Kalesh. And he just says, "Everyone, rest well. I will be going into the desert myself tomorrow in search of the relic that will free Rakath." And he says, "We have been aided by truly wonderful individuals, and our goal will be seen to fruition." And he like brings a mug and says, "To freedom!" And everyone's like, "Yeah, woo!" And like they start drinking a bit and start cheering. Kalesh like sits down and says, "Scout, Genva, I will be going to the desert tomorrow, as I just said. I need you two to stay here, man down the fort. Should Broadevint come here, you may tell her that we are getting close to our goal. I hope to bring her good news when I come back." And you see, he like looks to you guys and says, "I would be going myself, but should you wish to join me, I would have no..." Can't find the right fucking word for this. "I would have no issue should you come with me. I would welcome it. But it is not something I would ask of you or force of you."
I don't know about you guys, but I'm going. This sounds like fun.
Yeah, let's go, Greek.
Sure, I will accompany you.
I don't know. I'm still not feeling myself. I don't know. Would we have time to recover and prepare, at least?
Kalesh says, should you need time to recover, I suppose it's not as if the fruit would be going anywhere. Very well. You've shown us great kindness. I would like to show you that in turn. You may rest here if you so wish.
And likewise, you have all been very kind to us. once we explained ourselves, and I appreciate it very much. But respectfully, we've just come out of a pretty sad, pretty sorry situation, and it's a lot to get back in the saddle so soon, if that makes any sense.
I understand. In that case, do not trouble yourself if you do not wish to come.
I'd like to help however I can, but I won't be much use right now anyway.
Understood. He looks over to, I believe, Certus and Isidore.
So Isidore, what are your thoughts?
Isidore was just kind of like looking at you, just judging your reaction, waiting for you to say something. Oh, well, you see, I think I'm pretty all right with this. Yeah. Kalesh, when you do have a moment later, I would like to talk to you about something. But I am down to help. It is all fair.
He nods and says, "Of course."
Now, Certus, my boy, are you joining us? Does this conflict with your holy vows and whatnot?
I will join you all.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I think we're going then.
Wonderful.
Would it
Right.
be any help if I were to sort of take care of things here, just keep your home in order? I wouldn't want to impose, but I also would like to show my gratitude in some way.
Of course. I'm sure Genva and Scout would appreciate it.
All right. Well, in that case, I'll try to make myself useful.
All right. You guys make cheery. We'll have how about we make a small break before we move into nighttime, and then you guys start getting ready for the next part. All right. Call 10 minutes.
Sure. Sounds good.
All right. See you guys back here in 10 minutes.
All right. This works out well because I'm going to be out of the country for 2 weeks at least.
Okay.
Nice.
If you guys want to go on that mission, then that works.
Okay, Certus will be very helpful while you're gone, I guess.
I'm actually gonna go make some ramen, I think. I'll try and make it quick.
Okay.
So,
What?
we're just all about this.
Heck
You
yeah.
know, when in Rome, we free an abyssal god, I guess.
Right. Okay.
Um,
And what is this gonna do once we free it?
that's a really
Yeah.
good question.
Right.
Yeah,
Um,
Like, I
that's a
mean-
discussion for on the trip, you know.
Right.
Yeah,
so
when
we
we're already
free-
on the way there, that's when we should figure this out.
Right. So which one are we freeing? Do we know? I forget.
This is the
Basmati rice.
no. Nope, that one was already taken care of. That's the one where Broadevant sacrificed the girl for.
Oh, is this Bishat?
Sorry, Bishaat's the one. This one
Yeah.
is
Basmati. Basmati rice.
Bamati is the
Bama-
is the god of illusion. He is one of the
Eric
pantheon.
was eating rice.
I was eating
when
rice.
he
Yeah.
came up with the name.
Yeah.
Great. I can't wait to release Bugatti into the world.
No, Bamati is the god of illusion, not an abyssal god. He's just one of the
Right. Do
pantheon.
they have a?
The one you're freeing is Rakath, the world eater.
Ah,
Oh,
Rakat.
okay.
God
yeah, the
of
world
famine.
eater, god of famine. Yeah, we're just
Wait.
gonna
He's gonna release
Oh.
famine.
because these guys were just kind of really cool, so we're just gonna we'll do it.
They're
Yeah.
like, hey, we're confused why gods are gods, so let's release these gods.
Why don't we
Hey,
recruit
we gave
the
you-
god to fight the god?
We made you dinner. Free our god, please.
We took your weapons, made you dinner.
Gave me weapons. I got weapons.
True.
Now. That's pretty good.
You do have weapons now.
I'm so happy for you.
I can shot bow.
Is that what you use, bows?
Ah,
Yeah.
yes. From barbarian to ranger,
Damn.
Not quite, but yeah,
almost.
almost. We're almost there. It'll become
At some
it'll
point,
become clear
at
in
some
time.
point, you'll have it.
At some point, I won't roll 2 nat 1s
Yeah.
on the check to see if you know what you're doing check.
if the feeling of peace and like focus comes over you.
Mhm.
But I guess the dice tell a story.
Yeah, something like that.
Just tell a story. You're so right.
the dice say you don't get to be your class yet. Actually, sorry.
Hey, at least you're level same level as the rest of the party now.
You're just
I
normal, dude.
I think we deserve a level up after
Thumbs
being
up.
freaking pub stomped.
Thumbs up.
No, we deserve a level up once we release a abyssal god upon the world.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Right, and then we have to deal with the abyssal god.
Yeah.
I think level 10 is gonna be too overpowered. He's keeping it from us.
So I gotta be real, guys. What does so we're friends with Kalesh, which is we love friends. I still don't quite understand that, and I think Jared needs to explain this because he was the one that was like, yeah, we're helping you. You've convinced me. What is the A to B on helping Zetno's cronies get access to this abyssal god and then defeating Zetno? What's the A to B? What's the kind of the path we're following here?
Is this any part of Zetsunel's plan?
It's still vague what he needs any of this for.
Right.
But presumably he's been having, because he had sent Broadevant to go get the plague bone, which we thwarted her plans. She was able to get the not Bismati, freaking
Basmati
Bishad
rice.
stuff. And now this is the third of the abyssal gods that she's had a hand in
Okay.
trying to free. So, and she is under direct order from Zetno to some degree. We know that Kalesh isn't like tied to Zetno. It's more that Zetno is a means to an end, I guess.
It's
But-
more about that he has a loyalty to Broadevant, and that Broadevant happens to be working for Zayden.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
So
you
yeah,
guys know that Kalesh wants to free the gods and let them be free. Isaac had a vision, a dream, where he saw be shot, get freed, and then get sort of like captured again.
I feel like
Yeah.
that was supposed to give some kind of revelation, but I was just like, okay. You know what I mean? Like the way you said that, it sounded like you wanted us to be like, oh, but it didn't happen.
That's fine.
All our brains just went.
God damn
"Oh."
it.
You guys do you. That's totally good. No worries.
I bet Isaac would know. You know,
Yeah.
Jared would know.
Barrett needs to explain this because he was like, literally, we walk in and they give their story, and Isaac's like, yes, everything you've said is amazing, and I love you all, and we're best friends now.
And that's what I heard also. So
Yeah,
I heard that he's just fed up with it and
right.
might as well try something different, right?
Sardis just heard that we are bringing in Abyssal God out into the open for fun, and
For fun.
now Sardis is shitting, screaming, crying.
Worst
pissing,
case
punching people.
scenario, we just kill the Abyssal
The
God,
Abyssal
right?
God.
Yeah,
We're
wanna
going to
kill
kill.
him? Yeah.
I'm
Oh, right,
pretty
right.
sure.
Case.
Yeah,
What's wrong, an Abyssal God or is that
you know,
I'm gonna go with Zeb
I-
now.
I have no idea. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Isaac is so sad about the palace situation that he's looking for a rebound, and Kalesh is right here. So
Oh. That was good.
Every time he looks at Ayana, he's like, ugh.
Not to say.
Yeah, Isaac is
I'm
actually
sorry.
really salty about the last thing Paula said, which was, I like Gain more.
Ah!
well, you know,
It's okay, Prop.
it's rough out here, guys.
I still cannot believe he said that. I mean, it's fair if that, like, that's, you know, what it is, but, like, I was like, what? Poor Isaac and his love interest.
You don't need a love interest. You got your girls. Oh, shit.
Isaac.
Where's June, huh?
I love you and all of you guys. Right?
Yeah.
Except for Greg.
Hey, listen, Rex actually meant.
He
He
meant
wasn't
it.
lying.
Yeah, he wasn't lying,
He meant
dude.
it. Look, if Greg could just take the wig off, I think it would make it a lot easier to get close to him.
But the murder wig is the appeal. Are you kidding me? Are you saying you're not into this?
It's funny because Isidore has never seen Greg without the wig, and there's no way to tell that it's like.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
no way to
right.
tell that it's a wig. Like, it literally, that's item description is it looks like your real hair.
Yeah, it says the only way to tell it's not real hair is if you use a wish spell.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I told you that it was a wig when I was talking about it, so.
Yeah. So now he knows, and
Yeah.
now he's kind of just discussed it a little bit.
Yeah. Oh
I was
yeah.
disgusted before I knew it was a wig. Not about
Jared,
you, though.
you gotta explain now that you're back. You gotta explain the A to B on how freeing the Abyssal God is gonna help us.
Oh, why do I have to explain?
Because you're the
All
one
of
who
us are
said, "Yeah,
lost."
you shook hands."
Yeah.
He gave his spiel. You said, "I don't need to ask the party. I'm shaking hands and making a deal right this second."
Hey, Isaac can leave the party. He can go off on his own.
That's what this is a setup for. You were hoping we'd get pissed off and just leave you here so that you could leave the game.
No, I was hoping you guys to come along. I'm just saying, like, yeah. This is
Isaac
what
is
I feel
just
like right
so
now.
salty about Paula right now.
So salty, dude.
Isaac does not take rejection well.
I have very complicated thoughts. I get. Oh, no. Let me back. Isaac has really complicated thoughts about like what he should do, and his current viewpoint, if I were to put it like simply, is to help the people in front of him. His oath is more about love and connection and balance and all life being sacred. And I think to some extent that should probably apply to the Abyssal God too. After all, like his own god is in prison, so I feel like he has a lot in common. Kalesh was chosen as Lucius's. Isaac was chosen, but he's kind of failing at that too. I don't know. It's just there's a lot in common.
There's no winning here. Everybody's
I guess the point is like what is the worst that's gonna happen if we release the god? Like famine, right? But like people are already starving at certain places. I'm guessing in Solaris. Like it's
Yes,
not
that
a
was their
perfect
logic.
world.
Is that it's already like the world already sucks. What's the worst that could happen?
right. Which I guess it makes you don't need
Which
these gods for these things to exist. I guess.
true. We don't know if it's going to exacerbate the situation though. Like because we went to a lot of places where stuff wasn't that bad, and I
Right.
wonder if it's going to turn bad.
Or
If these guys get free, because it did. We did have the issue where Bishaat getting freed did cause global warming, basically.
Solaris cooling.
Yeah, Isaac, what happened to Bishat? That based on what you saw, what do you remember?
What happened to Bishat?
Yeah.
Do I have any knowledge of what happened to Bishat?
You remember having a dream with a creature with like elephant-like trunks sloughing off flesh on the ground that bursts into flames and a wide open mouth that like split its body in half. The description of Bishat. You had a dream about him. You can make me a intelligence check.
Yeah, I'll have to do that. Let's see. That's 13.
Okay, that's not bad. You can guide yourself on this, by the way. I'll have that.
Okay. That's. Yay! All right.
Okay.
7.
You remember having a dream after Bisha was released. You remember being in like an open expanse. You remember there being this weird orb in the sky that was like wrapped around in chains of like some kind of creature trying to break free. You saw Bisha start moving towards that crystal, saying something along the lines of "I'm coming" or something like that. There's like a sense of desperation, and then you immediately see chains start whipping around Bishaat in that vision, condensing him down into an orb of shadow and fire, and placed next to the orb of the writhing mass of shadow in the center.
Oh. Yeah, that is some.
So what does that mean? Yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking too, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Hiya.
Hiya there.
So
Hiya.
Do you know anything?
you guys know that what Kalesh wants is freedom for the Abyssal Gods.
Right.
You know that him and Brodavint did some kind of ritual to free Bishat at the north. This ritual or whatever resulted in Kogita being in like a comatose-like state. Potentially, or maybe she was already in a comatose-like state. They didn't say anything about that. And then you remember the Isaac's dream came to fruition, like came true. You had that dream. Then you guys felt things were a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't Solaris like experiencing like Solaris cooling before, or was that a joke? Was that not something that was Solaris not having Solaris cooling before? Was that not a thing?
Like
Or
the
was that,
world
like-
was cooling down.
Yeah.
No, the world. You noticed that there was before all this shit. You guys got to remember reading in a newspaper that like crop yield was like getting lower and lower or something like that. So there wasn't like a cooling but there was like something that the druids had said before. It's like we're having a harder time getting crop yield from the earth.
Yeah. Yeah, if I could speak as a player, I think what's probably the issue is that someone sealed the abyssal, well, the nature gods for some reason. I'm gonna call them that from now on. Because maybe their existence was actually like bringing into balance. Like, people were tired of having bad crop yields, but like every now and then the world needs to have bad crop yields in order to be good. So like by sealing the abyssal gods, they're probably like causing more famine because the world isn't in balance anymore. Maybe the same way with temperature. Same way with the disease. There needs to be some sort of balance rather than bending it. And maybe that's the punishment. So maybe the nature gods need to be freed to restore balance. But I don't really know what a syndicate would have in mind.
You were the chosen one, Anakin.
You're the chosen.
You're supposed to
Do we all
bring
have a
balance
chance?
to the Force, not destroy it.
Yeah.
Will we all have a chance to speak in private anytime soon?
Yeah. I think dinner wraps up, and you guys are like shown a place where you can stay, but also Port Alexia is only a couple miles away if you wanted to go back into town. And like stay back at the inn. That's fine too.
I really don't mind staying with them. I just want to talk with everybody about what's going on here.
Yeah, easy enough to like try to find a private place.
Okay.
And we guarantee that it's a secure location.
Yeah, make a perception check.
$16.
You guys are like in this. You guys like in your one of the rooms or whatever. It's not like complete privacy because people are around, but if you speak in hushed enough voices, it'll be hard to figure out what is being said. You have your candles lit, and then you're even should Scout randomly be in here, you're pretty certain that like it'll be hard for him to just randomly show up. Basically, you feel like it's pretty secure as long as you talk in a hushed voice.
So you all spoke to everybody, right? What's your take on all of this? I don't quite know how to feel. Are these people, do they want what we want?
Well, I think what they want is pretty clear, but what do we want?
Well, at this point, I'm not even sure.
What I gathered is they are very focused on their own personal beliefs and how they extend to the state of the world. I do not know if this is for good. I'm merely absorbing information.
No, that's a good point, Iona. I think that's pretty much what it is. I understand if you have reservations about this. Specifically, you, Kane, as well. I'm not sure how this might... I know, well, I heard you're a Carmire Druid, so I'm not really sure what that would be for you to release an Abyssal God, but from what I've heard today, it seems like these people, these gods, might just be misunderstood. And I think more than all, I don't know, I feel kind of like a connection with these people, just like the rest of you guys. Like, I feel like there could be nothing wrong from helping.
You're certain of that?
That's how I feel. So yeah. I feel certain.
Yes, I agree. I agree with you, Isaac. I actually used to be part of an organization sort of like this at one point.
You were?
Yes, it reminds me so much of it. Fun times, fun times. They all got wiped out, though, so unfortunately they don't exist anymore, and might have been for the best. I'm the only one left, but it is what it is. Maybe you've heard of them. They were called the Citadel of the One.
No, I haven't. I'm sorry to hear that, though.
Yeah, there's this weird guy. What was his name? There's a historic Toric, Loric, Lyric. I forget what his name was. Weird guy. Anyway, they got wiped out. They're all gone now.
Was that a long time ago?
Yeah. Some time ago. But, you know. Things like this happen, you know? But,
Why does that name seem like it sounds familiar, but I can't really put my finger on it?
Not sure. Hold on. Let me...
Fairly certain none of you know who that is.
Ah, yes, his name was Storic. That's what his name was.
Oh, Storic! Oh my god! I have no clue who that is.
Oh, yeah, none of you guys know who that is, I guess, huh? That's funny. I guess it's all in the past anyway now. Water under the bridge, as they say. But, I don't know. They tried to free Demise. That's what I was trying to do, too. Didn't work out for them. I'm still here, though, so guess it worked out for me.
Yeah. I still plan to help you with that too, so I guess we're a citadel of the two. Or the rest of us, citadel of this.
Sounds wonderful. I don't believe that Kalesh knows anything about Demise, so I plan to enlighten them.
Wait, he doesn't know anything about Demise? Aren't there Demiselings all downstairs?
Yeah, I don't think that they realize it. They mentioned all these other gods, but I've not heard the word Demise a single time. And all those creatures down there are 100% Demiselings.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. How would they not know? Aren't they not involved with the syndicate?
The syndicate might be keeping secrets of its own. But don't worry, that can be easily remedied.
Yeah,
Other people should know about Demise. Makes things easier.
Yeah, it would make things easier. I think we'll go a long way to show that we're a lot like them. Yeah, you should definitely tell them about Demise. Man, I can't believe it.
I plan on talking with what's his name again?
Oh, Kalesh?
That's Storic. What's his name? Kalesh. I plan on talking with Kalesh again, fairly shortly. So I'll inform him. If you want to join me, Isaac, it'd be great. Have someone else, another Demise follower, back me up on this.
Demise follower. Yeah, I guess, sure. That sounds good to me.
And I never asked you too much about it. How did you actually get involved with Demise? A nice little kid like yourself. Doesn't seem from a quaint little town, right? That doesn't seem fairly normal.
Yeah, it's kind of complicated. Well, the first thing is, gosh, where do I begin? Well, my family's been involved with Demise for a long, long time. Like, my dad used to be a part of this tribe with the Embryon, and Demise originally wiped them out. My grandma, my uncle, and everyone else.
Sounds like my family. What was your dad's name?
My dad's name is Harkon.
Wait. Bay Harkon.
Harkon Dashery. I'm Isaac Dashery. My dad would be Harkon Dashery.
Oh, I see. This is a joke. That's very funny of you, kid. Love it, love it.
What's the joke? I don't think I got it. Did I say something funny?
Then Harkon died. He's not alive anymore.
Oh, right. You said something about being alive during the calamity, right? You've been alive for... Oh, so, yeah, okay. You might know my dad. No, my dad's alive. Mom was able to bring him back.
Harkon's followers killed my family.
Excuse me?
They didn't like that we knew about Demise, so they wiped us all out. I don't know if your father directly was responsible, but his people killed me. They killed my family. I came back to life because Demise. I called on the power of Demise to bring me back. But I lost my family because of your father, either directly or indirectly. I know this doesn't concern you, and it's not your fault, and you don't have the blood of your father's crimes on your hands. Maybe your father isn't even to blame for this, but...
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Maybe it's not my fault, but if my dad did something like that to your people, then... My dad has really had a hard time with Demise. Stripped everything away from him, but... I don't see that as a good justification for killing your family, too. I'm sorry.
Listen, what's done is done, kid. You came into this world long after everything has happened. I can't hold it against you, but I've suffered so much. You have no idea what I've gone through.
I don't. I think it's time to stop a lot of this wheel of hatred, and I think this goes back to the Abyssal Gods now too. Killing cultists, killing people. I think a lot of us have called on power and we rely on those, whether they're gods or friends, and we shouldn't have people hate us for that. We're not responsible for what our gods do. We're not our gods.
No.
That's certainly a take.
You feel differently about this, Cernus?
No. Definitely not.
So what do you think about it? Do you agree with us? Or do you agree with Isaac, I should say?
You know, I don't think my opinion here matters too much.
Well, I think everyone's opinions matter. It's how much you care about them in the end, I suppose, is a different story, but
That's true.
knowledge is power.
Right. Well, I don't want to get into it. I think that everyone has their own thoughts about gods, and we should respect it. Anyways, is there anything else we should discuss before we jump into this terrifying endeavor?
I,
Oh, yeah, sorry.
if I may, I am not. I am following your lead on all of this. I do not understand exactly what it is this does to lead you towards your goals. For me, this is but a small sidetrack as we head towards our objective in, I believe, Handria. But I am uncertain how this affects you all.
Well, Ayana, you just came into this world, I suppose, in the form you're in, and there must be a lot going on in your head right now. So, if it ever becomes too much, let us know. But there's some very important business that we need to attend to, and at this point, things will probably only get more difficult from here. Guess just keep that in mind. Apologies that you got thrown in the deep end here, kid.
You need not apologize. I am merely building a much larger tapestry in my head. I will follow your lead.
Eric, I want to... Remember I texted you or messaged you about like a plan I had? Let me...
see.
I want to see how possible it was. Where was it? Let me just resend it to you.
This thing here, I see.
This one. Here, paste.
Yeah, that's the one I was looking at. What about that?
How possible is this? Is this like something that realistically he would have know is possible to do?
I'm gonna need you to make me a religion check. The DC for this is a 22.
Okay. Oh, I mean, I would have to roll natural 20 for that. Okay. Yeah, that was a 15.
15?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's hard to gauge. I mean, maybe, potentially, but it's... Because, the way you channel the power, there's a bit of, a combination there. You channel it, but there's no real, binding or anything like that. You're just kind of channeling it. To do that, you would probably require more information. Honestly, like, I think you would know generally that when Demise was sealed away, but I don't know if you know exactly how or why. However, Isaac may have heard something from his parents about that specifically.
All right, yeah, Isidore will ask then. So then, Isaac, I had a little thought in my head about Demise and I guess these other gods potentially, but specifically Demise. That's what I think we're all most interested in here. Do you know, I know that Demise was sealed away, but I don't know the specifics of it. Did your father or your parents tell you anything about that?
They did. Here, I make notes of this so I make sure I don't mess anything up. Let's see.
I can also supplement for you if you would like.
Let's see. Oh, right. Give me one more second. Let's read the whole thing. Make sure I got the word.
Lore.
Here we go.
Yeah, so long ago, my dad was a bit of a larger leader, right?
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Are you familiar with the battle during the Calamity? With the Abyssal Gods and Demise?
I think Isidore would be familiar with that to some extent. Yeah.
The Battle of Beast and Men. Yep.
Yeah.
Or technically the War of Beast and Men.
Yeah.
So, in the War of Beasts and Men, my dad was fighting the 4 Abyssal Gods and their leader, Demise. But as he was fighting Demise, they fell into Solaris together at the end of their battle. And they were sealed away in a lake of ether for an incredibly long time. And during this time, Demise or my dad never awoke, but they were almost entwined together. Until eventually, my mom was able to put together a plan to free him. And then try to seal Demise back once.
So, what you're saying is that Harkon and Demise, they fused together and became one entity.
Yeah. And you could say that's why, and I pull my hand back up and I kind of flicker the veins. I'm like, I think that's why some of this kind of comes natural to me. And I think why it's kind of more easy for me to relate to. I feel more kinship with Demise than I do fear. And I guess the same extends to the Abyssal God. I'll start.
Yeah.
Yes, you have your confirmation now. Another thing to note, you do know that there is with a 15 religion, you do know that Demise had a champion. A being that had powers very similar to yours. Maybe a bit more advanced, a bit stronger. But you do remember he had like a champion, an entity that that sort of was like his inside man in humanity or something like that. But in that way, like, you don't remember that one being entwined. This stuff with Harkon is news to you, but you do know about that champion that once existed.
Do I know the name of the champion or just generally know it?
You remember the name of the champion's name never really came up. You just remember it being the champion because whenever it like interacted with you, it didn't really speak. Yeah, you just remember being like terrifying.
Can I go over to Isaac and try to like, I guess, well, I'll ask him first. Isaac, do you mind if we try to tap into Demise for a moment here? There might be latent power inside of you. I'm not sure if I can even help you with that, but it's worth a shot. We might be able to figure something out here. At least talk to Demise.
Talk to the mice?
It is technically possible. Difficult, but it is possible.
Yeah.
Isn't it so useful to look at our lore docs? Isn't it so wonderful?
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's give it a try.
All right. Izor's gonna try to attempt to help Isaac together. They're gonna try to like commune with Demise. He's gonna use similar like incantations that he used originally to ask Demise to bring him back when he originally died.
Before you start to do
would
this,
this
are you
help?
sure you want
I
to do this?
produce the effigy of Orella. Don't know if it's helpful, but I'll just be. This is related, perhaps.
Thank you, Iona. Yeah, let's place it. See if we can check with it. If it's a general, I think the Abyssal Gods are close enough to Demise where it might be a help.
Okay. Okay. So you're starting to do the incantation, Isaac. You're trying to like tap into that innate like connection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, make me an insight check.
Okay.
No, one of us or both of us?
Just Isaac.
Oh, okay.
21.
Oh, nice.
Isidore, you start channeling whatever that latent power that you have. Like you're focusing that on Isaac. Isaac, you're like sitting there, getting to your as much of a trance as you possibly can. Isaac, you focus for a bit. That energy goes in there, and there's like a thread. Like you have like many different threads that like tie you to different people. You see that there is one that's a little taut that pokes out at you. One that if you focus on, no, where is it? Where is my Yeah. You focus on this thread and the world begins to dissipate around you. And you find yourselves amidst the desert. You see a rock formation, almost a cave of sorts. Inside, you're just like standing on the outside, and on the inside, like at nighttime, there are like slash marks all inside the cave. There are like bones and different things of that nature in that cave. Which just like whatever's been in here has been like obviously feeding. It's like a den or a nest of sorts. You see in the back of the cave a almost like indent of something that had been like sleeping in there or been like in stasis. And as you kind of peer through, you see a figure, non-moving but wreathed in shadow. It is humanoid. It's inanimate, but as you like focus on this, you have it sniffs the air, peers around towards you. It stands up, very muscular build, maybe like 6'2", 6'3", shadowy. Even though like I guess like the normal humanoid thing, but as like it gets a bit more agitated, it starts to grow in size, like 7 foot, 8 foot, and like these two serpents come over its shoulder. You are looking at the thing that jumped you and your companions when Val was still around on your way to the Feywild. You see, this is the thing that Shadow was with. And it sniffs the air, almost like reacting to what you did. It smells and then looks directly towards you as if catching the scent of something. It becomes animate once again, and you see it start to break into a sprint at you. It moves out of the cave and starts running deep into the desert.
It's running towards me.
It moved past you, and like it ran towards you, in this like vision, this connection, caught your scent or something like that. Like it was sniffing the air, and you see it runs through you, and then starts sprinting in the desert.
I'm going to be sprinting after it then, so I can keep following.
You start sprinting after it. You saw a creature wreathed in shadows, evidently something that fully is channeling Demise's energy. Like the shadows that you saw off of Isidore are very like similar to the snakes that he had as well. It's just like a very much more intense and powerful version of it. And you see that like it breaks into a sprint and almost like starts like becoming animalistic in terms of the way that it's pouncing, like it's on the hunt. You fought this thing once before. You were able to defeat it, but it returned to Shadow once you did. For some time, I've been having you roll to see if this thing is fighting you again. It's going to be finding you again. You know for certain that this thing, whatever this is, will be you will be encountering it again at some point. Whether it's sooner, whether it's later, you're not sure. But whatever this connection is, it seems to be drawing the two of you together again. You break out of your trance after seeing this vision. Isidore is right there next to you.
Kid, are you there? Isaac.
Yeah, sorry. Still coming back. Yeah, I'm here.
Did they say anything? Did you talk to Demise?
No, I didn't talk to anyone, but I saw something. I had a vision. I saw actually something we saw before we met you. It was like it looked like Demise to me. It looks like he noticed something then ran away. He's in the middle of a desert. I don't think it was the past. It feels different.
Can I, like, roll for something to see if this sounds... I mean, like...
Yeah, Isaac,
as Isaac describes the dream,
yeah.
like, do I get anything?
I think Isaac, do you describe like specifically like what you saw, like the big humanoid figure with the serpents and all that?
Yeah, I'm going to describe it this.
Isidore, no roll needed. That is the champion of Demise, guaranteed.
That is the champion of Demise?
Yep.
Oh shoot. All right, kid. That definitely is the... Demise had a champion, so separate and distinct from when he merged with your father. He had a champion, a fighter, who did his bidding. Similar, I guess, in ways to me, but stronger, more powerful. What you described right there unequivocally was the champion of Demise, or whatever's left of them anyway.
Who are they? Do you know who they are?
Do I know anything else other than what you told me before Eric was at it?
That's pretty much it. You just remember that before your time, the champion had existed for a while. He fought, like, Demise had used him in the war of beasts and men for sure. And like the war was past your time, right? Like
Right.
your worship of Demise came after the whole sealing and all that shit. But you know the champion's been around for a long time. The fact that he's still around despite Demise being imprisoned or whatever is kind of interesting, because you've never heard of the champion doing anything other than the bidding of Demise. But Demise can't bid anyone to do anything right now. So who's bidding? What is that thing doing? Who's causing that thing to move around?
When you looked at it, Isaac, only then and only then did it move.
Yeah, I feel like almost it was looking at me, but it wasn't looking at me. It's almost desert. Wait, maybe it's coming for us now.
But it's possible you connected to it in real time, and it knows our location, and it's running towards us from the desert. I suppose that's possible. We should be prepared at any moment for it to show up.
It came on us when we were sleeping not too long ago. I guess it's not a surprise.
It's looking for you, Isaac, I imagine.
But
You have this connection with Demise, and it might be trying to... I don't know exactly what, but it served Demise, and maybe it thinks it can serve you.
last time it tried to kill us, I'm not sure.
Hmm.
But after the last time I fought it, I had a dream. And then when I woke up from that dream, I became intertwined with Demise. Before then, I wasn't like this.
Maybe it's trying to restore Demise somehow.
Yeah, that wouldn't be so bad, actually.
Well, we just have to do it thoughtfully and carefully. I owe a lot to Demise, right? But I also value maintaining a certain degree of stability in the world. Balance, if you will.
Yeah. There's not a world where I should bring back Demise without any balance, so I'm with you there.
Elsewhere in the world at this point, at the Syndicate, at Syndicate headquarters.
Ooh, so headquarters, let's go.
June.
Yes.
June, you start getting ready to be sent over with Tiza to like Handria, and then you were meant to go catch up with your party members once more, with the intention of a double thing. Felix pulls you aside. Hold on. Felix pulls you aside as you're preparing, and he kind of goes, "Oh, June. Slip my grasp. Actually, you're planning on being with those guys again, right? Bad benefits."
If I can find them, yeah.
Alright, cool. So, one bit of information you should know. We did end up using them as an experiment of sorts. We have this thing, an old employee of ours that is known, that volunteered to basically help us with some of the experimentation we've been doing with etheric magic and the like, and channeling power. We call him the Vessel. Little nickname, a loving nickname for us. I had previously sent it against against bad benefits. Some time ago, I had heard back that it had been defeated and it had been hunting them down again to take them out. I decided to let their reins be free, to see what it would do in the world and how much stronger it became before we brought it back in. Now, I'm sure this won't be that much of an issue, but I figured if you're going to be with them, know that an employee of ours may be at odds with your current plan. When that happens, just use this, and he hands you a little, a little orb, and he says, when that thing brightens up, our little employee will be, it'll tell you that our employees will be within 1,000 feet of you. When that happens, you want to get as far away from your party as possible.
May I ask a few questions?
All right, shoot.
The employee that is out seeking bad benefits, is it only out for bad benefits, or is it going to attack anything?
Originally, just
guessing
bad benefits. We had him sent specifically on their scent, so to speak.
Right.
But
Okay.
we decided to let it go to see what it kind of does. A little bit of observation.
Right.
Until we have use
I
for
got
it once again.
Okay. This makes sense. So there's no way you can tell it to stand down at all?
There is a way. I'm sure I could make that happen, but it's definitely much more interesting to see what it does.
Or better yet, if defeated, not by, well, if defeated, will people know it's the syndicate?
No.
And I like have a big grin on my face, kind of showing excitement from this. What if we lead it to some sort of major city and have a spectacle and kind of defeat it there, just so we can get some favor as, I guess, bad benefits. That way, I mean, if you remember my earlier plan, or my fantasy, if you will, where I can talk to, I don't know, the Empress or something. You know what I'm getting at? You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
So would you mind if your employee no longer, would you mind if I release your employee from its job at that certain point to benefit us?
Here's the thing. We were hoping that should it fight whatever it did, it would come out on top. We kind of would like this employee of ours to be particularly powerful. But if you really think that you can defeat it, I could see the appeal. How about this? You join up with them. I'll let it sick on you guys, and if you can defeat it then I'll have it on collar, sent to wherever you want it to be sent. Weaken it down
Okay.
a bit, and you can defeat it again there. How does that sound?
Sure. I accept these terms, and if it does defeat us and it kills me, then I guess our business is done.
I suppose it is. All right then. Tiza? Tiza goes, yo, let's go.
All
Got your
right.
kicks?
Aight. What was that?
You got your kicks?
I got my things?
Yeah.
Oh, kicks? Yeah, I got
Yeah,
everything.
nice. The good drip. Let's get out of here. You guys you start heading off to eventually join the party again. Told about the vessel, about this assassin that was been on the tail. That you remember them talking about back in the meeting that they originally had with Zeta No, like looking through Brodovin's eyes. It's like Zeta No, Ulagan, and Felix. He had talked about the creation of the vessel and then sicking it on bad benefits as a test.
Right.
And that's like you remember that being the thing. What he's talking about, it was the thing you guys had fought at that point. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go back to Port Alexia. Activate. All right. Yeah. You guys were talking? Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Yeah,
Bless
we
you.
were-
Scout hears that, opens the door, and signs "Bless you" before closing and returning. Keep walking.
Look, Scout.
Wait, isn't he deaf?
He just can't speak.
He can't speak. Yeah.
Oh, never
Mute.
mind. All right.
Not deaf.
Oh, I see. Okay. What were we talking about right before we did the transition?
You were talking about the champion of demise and how it's coming for you guys, maybe.
Oh, right. Yes, so I think it's a non-zero chance that the champion of demise is coming for us and won't stop until we kill it, I suppose.
We
kill it.
killed it last time and it just turned into shadow. So is there even a way to get rid of it?
Eric, is there any way to like consume it? Can I consume the champion of demise? Is that possible? Can I consume it?
Ayo, maybe. Teehee.
He's a tourist, like, I want to be the champion of the
Yes, I want this. Yeah, maybe you could. Teehee.
Well, if it comes again, I will do my best to consume its power and maybe be the successor. A much more level-headed, competent champion of demise. How's that sound?
Honestly, if you were the champion of demise, I'd probably feel a lot better.
Yes, I won't try to kill you. That's for sure. Well, it's not yet. Haha, just kidding.
He's a door.
He kind of like just nudges you with his elbow.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about?
I mean, we still need to have a conversation with Kolesh about demise just to get them on the same page.
Sure.
Is there anything anyone else thought would be important to talk about before we go into a desert? Also considering the fact that Isaac saw an illusion of the champion of demise in a desert, so there's a potential there for a collision in the desert.
I don't know what this champion of demise thing is, but I'm sure we can handle it, or you can eat it, or whatever the fuck you were gonna do with it. At this point, I'm just here on the ride.
Wonderful. And your affiliation with your god won't get in the way with this, right? Just
No,
making
you don't
sure.
have to worry about me. Everything will be fine.
Wonderful. Well, that's nice and easy then.
Right. Nice and easy.
And Pala, is this or sorry, not Pala. Ayana, is this too much for you right now? Or is this are you processing everything all right? You feel okay?
I am okay. I am of the same mind as Certus, though I do not feel the same need to repeat myself with a slightly adjusted tone of speaking to imply another meaning. I will follow you all.
I fucking love it.
I have nothing to say.
Do you
Yes,
feel
that's
well?
true. Sorry, what did you say again?
Is there anything that you need for your trip that I could help furnish for you?
I don't know if there were any sort of items or anything you thought might be handy.
What of the desert? Do we need any particular supplies? Is this a normal place to find champions of gods?
I don't think it's a normal place to find gods. No.
Are there any druids that live in the desert? Do you
Yes. You would know of the Yofoso druids, who have their own city. Oh, sorry. Wrong. I'm dumb. Let me pull up the right name. Yofoso is the town, but there is a nomadic group of druids that live in the mesas. Let me find their exact name here. We got...
Yeah, I feel like they were on my list, right?
Yes. They are called... This is the wrong town. Thalian. Oh, yes. You know that Yofoso is a town, but it's not. Okay. There is a specific druidic people. They are known as the Aesay. Aesay. They are a nomadic people that live and meander around the mesas of Qualt. They are less like proper druids, more people of this nomadic people of the mesas. The other thing that's kind of like a twin to this, and maybe potentially more of like that like druidic thing that you would look for, is the Youtum. Youtum. They are a indigenous people that live directly in the desert. and hold like history of the desert and of Qualt. You know, like they are actually. Give me a religion check or a nature check.
Wow, finally something. 23.
2023. You know that their town of Yafoso is like a kind of a shanty town. You've heard of the people of Handria kind of like dumping various junk near there. So they've turned the place into like a junk yard scavenger kind of town. You also know that the temple to the sun goddess resides in Yafoso as well, which theoretically should hold the sun mirror, the solar mirror, or one of the relics of the gods.
Are those groups related to my mission? I'm looking at my notes, but I don't see them mentioned. Maybe I missed that. Were they one of the ones specifically named?
Yes, they should have been. I believe specifically the Ase were the ones that was. I think you were told to speak to first, at the very least, between the two of them. But they go hand in hand, so they kind of are like two separate groups of druids within the Qualt. So you may have to talk to them both, anyways.
I see. Would the team be willing to take Kranich with them? It could be helpful, and if they happen to meet them, it would be really great if he could, have a moment with them.
Oh,
Their blessings.
you sure you won't be lonely without him?
I'm more worried about him than me. But
Oh, okay.
yes.
I like the confidence. What do we say, guys? I think we should do it.
Sure.
All right.
I guess mechanically, would we have control over Krennic the same, like with the same bonus action type of system? Or...
I'm just gonna have Kranich be his own turn, and then
Okay.
Marco would be able to play as Kranich.
Sure.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna be out of the country for the next couple weeks, so I figured.
Then then I can have
Games.
Kranich have his own separate turn, and you guys can just like order him.
Cool.
Kranich, I want you to go with them, and would you protect Ayana for me?
Kranich nods.
I want to make sure that she's okay. This is a lot, I think.
He
I don't know how
immediately
much
goes
you
over to
remember.
Ayana. And just like
Ayana, I don't know how well you remember him, but he will take good care of you.
Understood. I will endeavor to reciprocate.
Thank you.
Kranich puts a big paw just like on you, on your leg, as you're sitting or whatever, Ayana.
Does this mean he wants food?
He'll make himself clear. Don't worry.
I'm just gonna... You just, for the next, like, hour, Ayana's just staring into his eyes, trying to find some form of meaning behind whatever the heck he's doing.
Make me an insight check.
Yeah, you got it. That is the wrong character sheet. How did I get there? Okay. 23.
You stare into Kranich's eyes for an hour. I think the first, like, 10 or so minutes, you're actually trying to figure something out. But I think it's almost meditative and therapeutic, where you're just, like, looking at him, and he just looks back at you. Just unblinking.
I think I'm gonna can I just for flavor, I guess, call this, like, I want like the text at the bottom of the screen to a player that says you have gained the benefits of a short rest.
Yeah.
At the bottom.
I think so. That sounds good to me. The end of the hour is up. You gain the benefits of a short
Yeah.
rest. Kranich just nods at the end. Like a gentle
Understood.
nod. Yeah.
I believe I understand all there is to know about this bear.
Excellent.
Okay. What else are we doing for the rest of the night? Are we going to bed?
Oh, sleeping.
Serta sleeps. Isaac, Isadora, you guys gonna go talk to Kalesh?
Sure. If Isaac's good to do it right now.
Let's go.
All right, wonderful.
You guys go see where Kalesh is. Scout like signs that Kalesh is taking his nightly walk on the beach and staring broodingly into the ocean.
Brooding into the ocean.
You guys,
Wonderful.
you guys head out, and yeah, you guys see Kalesh just like looking, like kind of sitting on the beach, just like looking across the water, seeing like the stars reflect off the ocean waves.
We're up to Kalesh right
Yeah,
now. Sorry.
yeah, you find him pretty easily.
Kalesh, there you are. You enjoy going out in the ocean in the middle of the night.
You see, he stands up and says, "Yes, I tend to reflect on here. Actually, can we take a quick little break?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a little bit."
Problem.
How we feeling, gamers?
Feeling good?
Feel pretty good. I think legally, if Kalesh doesn't respond to the question within 10 minutes, he dies instantly. So just be careful about that.
All right, sounds good.
Death.
Death. What a concept.
We're going down a path. I think we chose a path and we're going down it. So this can be fun.
Yeah, is this gonna have... Was this the right call? I can't tell.
Stuff is gonna happen.
It'll be fine, probably.
I just don't want to find out in a few sessions like, oh, they were the real bad guys all along. And
They would
we were
never.
lied to.
No.
Like
How
they
could
were a
anyone
bad
wanting
guy
to...
earlier in the story,
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't bad. They were just misunderstood, apparently.
Misunderstood. Exactly. Sam.
Right. Yup.
Yeah.
You know?
This is
They
definitely
definitely didn't
Curtis's
try to
thoughts.
kill us.
Curtis knows exactly what's the... Oh boy.
Sir's gonna ask their god again, like wheel or woe questions.
Yeah,
So,
actually,
I know what I
know,
said about earlier. This shit's getting weird.
Isaac, if you want to, ask them a little bit about the whole sacrificing, an innocent person for the sake of a ritual, if you want to get like some clarity on that, that'd be probably pretty cool.
Nah, you don't need clarity.
Clarity's for chumps. I love all my interactions with important people being as opaque as possible.
I want to leave every discussion not having gained any knowledge.
If I gain knowledge, that's a problem.
Yeah. I only have so much space in my tiny brain, right? And I already have everything I need to know. So anytime you try to exposit at me, you're actively ruining the good stuff that I've already got in there. Fine dining and breathing.
Fine dining and
Of
breathing.
course, of course.
I want to go into every future encounter with my eyes wide shut,
Yeah. I want to be fighting the god of all gods and not know why I'm there.
Yeah. I can't think of a better way to do it. I think it's funny now how like no one knows who Stork is anymore. I didn't really think about that, but no one knows about Stork, so now it's kind of just like, oh yeah, that's cool. You're part of a cult, sure.
Nice job.
Yeah.
I love,
Yet another
love that you feel
cultist.
that.
If like Lee or Chef was here, they would immediately kill Isidore on sight.
You're just lucky we're not there.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome. We've decided to kill everybody in the party.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. All right, fun campaign, guys. Thanks so much.
Party wipe. Yep.
All right, hell yeah, dude. On to the next one. You know. Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm... Dude, fuck yeah. Yeah, Isaac, go ahead. Talk to Kalesh.
Wait, is Isaac back?
And, Jared here?
Yeah, muted. They're muted.
Okay.
But not back. I gotta wait a little bit. Wait, what's Greg been doing this whole time?
Chilling.
He's just been in the room with you guys. I mean, honestly, I thought you guys were gonna be like, and Greg, what do you think? And then I was gonna be like, just fucking falls asleep while you guys are talking all.
Time loop back. Greg, what do you think? What do you think about all this?
What does Greg think? He's sleeping, okay.
Honk, shoo, me. That's what he says. That's what he thinks.
That's what he does, yeah, yep. Okay. Yeah, you see Kalesh stands up. He says, yes, I like to reflect my thoughts, and the ocean has a very calming effect on me, I found. How can I help you?
Do you mind if we join you a bit? I think Isidore noticed something that you didn't.
You're cutting out,
You're
Jared.
breaking out. We can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. I'll let you take over for a second. Hold on.
Oh, okay, wait.
We can wait, yeah, it's not a big deal.
You- Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Is this okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, do you mind if we join you for a second? Isidore noticed something earlier that I think you might find interesting.
Very well. By all means, please tell me.
Sure. And we'll take a seat down.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll
I'll
just
take a
sit down.
You
I
guys,
guess, yeah.
if you guys want, we don't have to. You don't have to just sit here and explain everything if you don't want to. But you can just say like you tell him everything. That works too.
We tell him.
Tell him that he's. Tell him all
About
the stuff.
demise and all that.
Right.
Oh. Oh, I was thinking something else completely. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought this was gonna be like the romance section where we try to like, you know.
Oh,
But
I mean,
all
if
right.
you want to roleplay this, that's totally fine with me. That's okay. I would just want to, like, this is just rehashing information that you guys already know. You're just telling an NPC that. So if there's anything in particular you want to like refrain from telling him or like frame it a certain way, that's fine. You can just let me know. Otherwise, we're just assuming that you told him everything pretty much.
Yeah, I'd like to include the War of Beasts and Men. And I'd like to bring Shadow out when we're talking about Demise. Introduce that like he already knows Demise too.
As
I think that's about it.
Kalesh is silent for the vast majority of it. You see, like, it's hard to get a good look on his face because it's so dark out. I guess Isidore, you see it. You see, like, his facial expressions. He's, like, right, that furrowed brow, just, like, listening, like, intently. At the end of it, you see he's silent for a long time and says, a fifth abyssal god and the leader of the four. He takes out his little emblem, looks at it, and says, I could not prove it, but I had a feeling there was more than I thought. I thought after releasing Bisha'at that I would learn more, but he stayed silent. You are telling me that there is a being known as Demise, another one of these gods, one that he has also been imprisoned By the Syndicate?
By the Syndicate. And Isidore and I would definitely like to free him too.
I would seek to free him, but are you absolutely certain the Syndicate? Are you sure without a shadow of a doubt?
When I listened to their meeting a long time ago, I heard Zetno Ulagon talking about their plans to use Demise. I know that they need Demise, and the god I'm a champion, or at least have been up until now in Trala. Zetno needs them both, so I'm sure he has them.
This... You see, like, there's a look of... This is very interesting. And he kind of says... He kind of, like, whispers under his breath. But Brodovint would should have told me. Would have told me. There's, like, a look of just confusion. He says... Okay, hold on. Let me think for a second. And he goes and kind of just says... Firstborn, being created when Solaris was created, beast and men, generals. I see. So, Syndicate. Do you tell him like the relation he has to you and your father, Isaac, and like
I'll tell him
Isidore, like your patron?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell him that his patron is Demise.
You see, he says, at the very least, then Isidore, then you are absolutely one of us. We're on the same path here. And Isaac, I need to parse this and think on this, but our immediate objective stays the same. I want to free. I must free Demise then too. It sounds like he is also unfairly imprisoned. But why would this? I don't know why the Syndicate would have that. We are working with them, are we not? I don't. All I know is what Brodovint has told me, and I trust her to know what is best. She has always known what is best. This is no different, but there must be a reason. I will speak to her about this. I promise. I will get to the bottom of it. At the very least, in the case of releasing Demise, then our goal remains the same, actually. If anything, it's more affirming. I would imagine that these generals, the Abyssal gods, are gods of nature. They, once freed, would seek to free the others as well as Demise, in that case. So freeing Rakath would be beneficial to this purpose regardless.
Then
Okay.
I need to do this.
Okay.
Then, Kalesh, if that's the case, then I absolutely need you free the rest of the Abyssal gods.
He nods and says, "Very well." He clasps your hand on. He clasps his hand on your shoulder and gives you a nod. Then he kind of says something. He says Indrala is the goddess of love and of Solaris. Right.
Yeah, she's the goddess of love. But she's
Something
also
about this doesn't
in
make
prison.
sense. She's imprisoned as well.
Mhm.
Something about this doesn't make sense. She made Demise.
What?
He's the firstborn.
Yes.
It seems strange. There's something about it that doesn't make sense. Isaac, make me a insight check with advantage.
Okay. Ooh, good thing you have advantage. 19.
You can guide yourself on this too if you would like.
I would. Okay, 22.
22. You see Kalesh just kind of says, so we have the gods of famine, drought, plague, and disaster. What is Demise god of?
Demise is the god of chaos.
Kalesh thinks for a second. He says, I suppose that makes sense. On a 22 insight, as you say that, Isaac, and with Isidore at your side here, and like based on what everything you guys have been talking about, Indrala was the goddess of love and of Solaris, but she primarily before Solaris, she was the goddess of love, right? When a god has a domain of something, like for example, I think you come to realize, like, based on everything Kalesh has said, famine, plague, drought, disaster, all those things existed, and then the gods came like the entities came, the beings came from that. With their removal, those parts of nature still exist. Even like looking at the current pantheon, they have their domains, but they don't interact with their domains. Or if they do, it's not frequent, right? Things just exist in Solaris. Indrala didn't create the god, she created Solaris and everything it was. And then from Solaris came the gods and everything like that. So there has to be an inherent like idea that has to be created in order for something to exist, like one of these gods to exist. Indrala was the goddess of love. She created Demise from the chaos. But chaos isn't inherently negative or positively aligned. Why is Demise so aligned with negative ether? Why was Demise created as he was? Why wasn't he a being like Dawn, like one of her pure creations? And the Indra, Dawn was quirky, but she had like levels of compassion and love. What you've known of Demise, he's been completely counter to humanity. He's only invoked fear. He's only invoked, primarily fear. Why was he so full of rage? He did not want humanity to bring about what it would. Your father explained it that the progression of civilization just made Demise create that war of beasts and men. He was fully opposed to the idea of human civilization, that he wanted humanity gone. But Demise also spared your father. But Demise... There's something strange about his creation. Why does he exist the way he is? And sure, there's inherent chaos in nature, but the only thing he's ever really done, according to your family and what you know, is invoke fear. Why would that come about from a goddess of love? I think those kind of questions come up to your mind if you haven't already had them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But Kalesh just says, regardless, I'll be looking into this. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. I'll have Scout do his best. And I will speak to Broadevant when next available, but I believe we should still go seek the... we should be prompt then. Thank you for telling me this, and good to know I have allies here, that you are true allies to me. We will free all of these gods. He clasps his hands with yours. And he says, "Come, let's head to bed."
Right. Yeah, let's go then.
All right. You guys head to bed. All of you guys, unless there's anything else you guys would like to do. Otherwise, we can fast forward to the morning, and you guys all gain a long rest.
Yay.
You're now at a
Yeah.
-2 gain.
We take those.
You guys get ready. Kalesh, like, is fully in his armor. He has his sword. He has like a pistol to his side as well. And he has his compass out. And he just says, "All right, we will stop by Port Alexia first to require whatever provisions we may need, and then we will head directly to the desert."
Okay, the Port Alexia.
Okay. You guys head over to Port Alexia proper. Kalesh starts peddling with some merchants, grabbing like bits of like water and food and the like before heading out. And as you guys are across, June,
Yes.
Tiza says, like you see in the scrying orb, she specifically scries, I believe, on not Grig.
On Grig? Yeah, okay.
Not Grig. I think
not Grig. Okay, I was about to say.
Yeah, I I think she scries on probably Gain, actually.
Okay.
Sees that you guys are all together, and then
Oh,
She
hang on
says-
a second. She doesn't spry on me because I have the ring on.
oh, that's right. So she can't scry on you. That rules out Gain. That means that it's probably just gonna be Grig, actually. She scries on Grig, sees you guys all around, and says, "Okay, they're in Port Alexia. I want to teleport you right there. Do your best to be part of it. You know your mission. Do you have any last minute things you need to take care of before I teleport you there, June?"
Yeah. Have you seen Boris?
Yes. Boris. She yells out for Boris. Boris comes over and says, "Sis, July," and gives you a big hug.
Call me June, Boris.
Oh, June!
Right. Can I have a moment with Boris?
She nods and heads out, leaving you and Boris alone.
I give Boris a big hug. I'm like, brother, thank you for
Sister.
everything. I promise I will get our other brother in the right headspace and the syndicate on the right track again. If it was ever on the right track.
You know, sister, I have never seen anyone even remotely change Felix's mind before. It usually takes me hours upon hours of begging to do so. You remind me a lot of our grandmother. Oh,
Thanks, Boris.
we have not talked to her in a while. Oh, maybe we can do a family get-together. It's been so long.
Wait, did she reply to you when you Oh, yeah, she did. Can you talk to her right now, just real quick?
Sure.
Just
Hello.
ask her,
Yeah, what is it?
ask her where she is, if she would like to tell you.
Grandmother, Babushka, where are you right now? So much profanity. She says that she is currently in the heart of hysteria.
Oh. Okay. Thank you, Boris. And I give him another hug. Be like, I don't know if he'll stab you or cut your arm off or whatever, but give Felix a hug and don't tell him it's from me.
You got it. You know, it has been very lonely since our grandfather disappeared. Our grandmother is gone. And now we just have Felix here. But it was so nice to have you as well, June. He gives you a big hug and says, "Okay, don't be a stranger. Goodbye."
Bye, Boris. And I won't be gone for long. And then I get Tiza and I'm
Yep.
ready.
She casts teleport on you. You are in the heart of Port Alexia. Eventually, you make your way to where the rest of the party is. You guys see once more June in the heart of the town as you guys are doing your preparations for the trek.
Wait, what?
You guys see June.
I'm just like shopping or something, just waiting.
June! June!
Isaac! Isaac! And I run to it, Isaac.
June! You're
I
alive!
give the biggest hug that he's ever gotten in the longest time.
I'll take it. June, I'm glad you're okay. What? Where have you been? Where?
Oh my god! Who are these people? Where?
Dude, we-
Where's?
You should. This is Sarkis. You should meet him.
Oh, hello, June. I'm Curtis. Why do you have an old man?
It's complicated. He joined after you left, and he's been kind of taking over for healing and things like that. You're alive. Why are you alive?
I'm alive. I'm here. I have so much to tell you, and What are you guys? Wait, before I tell you everything, just let's go get something to drink or something, and then we can talk it over. Is he gonna still be with the Solaris, right? Yes. Oh, you're the cleric woman. Thank God. Nitros has answered my prayers. I will be off. And he's just like,
He just turns off and runs.
oh, I'm out of here. Jeez. Oh,
Congratulations on your first not total party kill. You deserve it.
I hope you all the best. If you die, you die. Good luck. May Nitros bless you. And he's just off in the distant screen, just happy that he's gone.
All right. Yay. There goes our beloved character, Solaris. A fan favorite.
Yeah, he's going to go off to go witness other teammates' deaths and stuff in the. Good luck, Eric.
Shouldn't we wipe his memory or something? Isidore, should you wipe his memory real quick?
I don't think I need to worry about that. I mean, unless she really wants me to, I doubt he'd be a problem for us,
Wait,
right?
why are we discussing wiping his memory? What
That's
did you
right.
do?
Yeah, you're June. Pleasure to
And
meet you.
you
Wonderful,
are-
absolutely wonderful to meet you. Isidore Ashcroft.
Yeah, June, this is our friend Isidore. We met him in Desmodo Wildwood.
I've heard
Do I-
so much about you.
Oh, good. I don't know anything about you, or where's Gain, and where's Paula?
June,
Gain?
what are you doing here?
Gain.
Wow.
Wait, is it Gain? Or I thought it was the bear. Oh, Gain
I
came with us.
think Gain just came with to help get proficiency before heading back to the place.
Oh right, I give Gain the biggest
Yeah.
hug. Also, just bear hug Gain as if yeah. It's like, oh my God, you're here.
Uh,
I thought you died or something.
Yeah, I did a while ago.
I just like grab you, like squeeze your arms with my hands, and just like pat you. I'm like, oh, but you're alive. Thank goodness. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'll tell you the story later.
Oh, okay. All right. I guess that old man wasn't too bad of a cleric then. Thank goodness. He did not look too happy. Anyways, and Paula?
Hello. I should speak, probably. I am called Ayana. I am not Paula. I presume. Are you in a hurry? This may be a long time to explain.
You're Ayana? And do you know Paula?
Yes, she. I am. Was.
Eyeballing Isaac really hard and be like, what the fuck happened to Paula?
Okay, June, you're familiar with Zed, right? You remember that?
Yeah. Yes. No, I had a vision. Hitaro gave me a vision about this big fight and everything, and you guys all vanishing and then Gain dying.
Wait, you saw it? You saw that happen? You saw us fight Zed?
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, well,
The reason why I'm here.
during
One of
that
the reasons. Right. Go
fight,
ahead.
Paolo was turned into almost like an angel, like an Indra, and gone away, and
But
Ayana
we
is what
saved
remains
her.
of her. No,
No, you saved her.
no.
I just slap you in the face, Isaac. Just straight up.
Oh,
I will say I do not remember much from Paola's life outside of particularly strong feelings and moments, but I can at least say that from my understanding of her memory, you were important to her to some degree. I hope this brings you comfort.
Oh, so she's you, but you're not her.
I am not her. For your own personal health and safety, it would be best you do not consider me her.
Oh. Okay. And as I mumble okay, healing word hits Isaac in the face.
No, if anything, I probably deserved it. We weren't really careful.
I was
You
just
didn't-
sad. I thought that I'd look at Isaac and be like, I really thought you two would, start kicking it off now that I wasn't here to joke about it all the time.
No, that's no. If anything, I think we'd just be happy to see her be broken from her contract at this point.
Okay.
Ayana
Well,
still
well-
intends to do that, so I still intend to do that too. At least
I walk up to Ayana and I kind of grab you by the wrist and I look you in the eyes and I'm trying to see anything of Paula inside of you, not talk to you, just stare at you in the eyes. Do I see any
Yes, I've done this with the bear as well. Please, we must understand everything there is to know about each other.
the bear? Oh right, yeah. Anyways, shut up. Okay, you're not Paula. You're Ayana, and you are here to help.
Right, I'm here to fulfill the duty passed to me by
By
Paula.
Paula. Okay. I look at Isaac and I give you another hug and be like, I know you've probably been mourning and everything this whole time, and I just squeeze you even tighter. I'm like, it's gonna be okay.
I do cry a little bit. I definitely try not to show. Oh, thanks, Jonathan.
June is visibly tears are rolling down her eyes, and we're like, so what's the plan, guys? Bad benefits. What are we doing?
That's a long story, but do you have some time? We need to talk to you about something.
I have all the time in the world.
Okay. Well, we're going to go free the Abyssal Gods.
We're doing what?
We have had a run-in with Kalesh, and we've come to understand that the Abyssal Gods are really gods of nature.
You had a
And-
run-in with Kalesh,
Yeah.
the
And
man that was killing a bunch of redheads for some sacrifice.
yeah, at that time he was desperate to bring his god back, and we didn't listen. Him and
Right.
the people around him, they're also desperate for help, and their gods are just happen to be invisibles. And from what I've learned about Andrala, I think that these concepts aren't necessarily evil, and so I'd like to help them get their gods back. And I think some of us might feel the same way.
Hitaro's name? What the fuck are you on about, Isaac?
Like I
See-
said, it's a long story.
You guys see Kalesh start to return. He's like a bag. It's like, I got the bunch
I
of baguettes.
pull out my mace and I'm like, Kalesh!
Oh,
Whoa, June, wait. Sorry, Kalesh. June just rejoined us just now, and I don't think he's caught up. So,
yes. Hello, June.
yeah,
Don't
Kalesh isn't.
hello June me.
He offers you a baguette.
I just
He's not a-
stare at it and I look him in the eyes or whatever I'm staring at. This is what you guys want to do?
Yeah, he's not a bad guy, June.
I'm am curious. I was not aware of the incidents involving these red-headed women that was mentioned here. Should that be of concern?
Not anymore.
So how do we release this abyssal god? What are the steps we need to do? Do we have to kill what, a black-haired woman now?
No, June, we're not killing anyone. We're just gonna go get a relic and then use it to free. Okay.
We're gonna go get a relic.
Mhm.
What relic? Which relic? Kalesh, answer.
The withered
Well, how do
goiko
we do
fruit
this?
seed. Once we find that in the mirror, the oasis in the desert, which has proven difficult to find, but we have a chance here now. Once we have that, then all we need to do is go to the shrine where Rakath is sealed, which is nearby here. Using the withered fruit seed, and the ritual was, the Brotherland had done most of the ritual, so we'd have to wait for her to do it.
Broad event?
Yeah.
Kalesh and Broad event. And what are these rituals?
Well, in this case, we would need a withered lotus along with the seed.
Right. Okay. We're working with. What happened? What happened? What happened? What are we doing? I just came from the goddamn syndicate, and now I come back to what I think would be.
Wait, June, sorry, what's happened in the syndicate? You're gone for a long time.
Right. I can fill you in later. Let's focus on this, and then after we deal with whatever this is, we can talk about everything we missed out on.
Well, we're freeing the Abyssal Gods, and I'm doing it because I feel like it's the right thing to do. Like, the Abyssal Gods help people in need like any other god. They've only been called Abyssal Gods because they were hated by others in the past. And because maybe humans have been greedy and haven't paid their respects to nature. When things are out of balance, I think that's causing the Abyssal Gods to be this way. They're not the cause of famine, it's just because famine exists, there's a god that resembles that.
I
And extends power to help those. And so I don't feel like it's right to have them in prison.
Okay, and this is helping these Kalesh's people?
Yeah, it'll definitely be helping Kalesh's people.
Okay, and you don't think this has any negative side effects? Like side problems that we'll have to deal with later?
I think any decision can usually have bad side effects, but I think the immediate outcome is good.
Okay. Well, I'm with the bad benefits, so... I mean, whatever. If we free this god and it ends up being bad, we'll figure it out, right?
Exactly.
All right, I'm with you. Let's do it. And
Okay.
I'm glad that I talked to Kalesh. I'm glad that we're not fighting right now.
You and me both. I would much rather do
Good.
this without the need of conflict.
Right. I have a chance of winning this fight, by the way, if we do fight. It's a small chance. I might win by myself.
I'm sure you would.
I just chomp my teeth at him like a chihuahua.
He is a little scared, actually. Okay, I think in that case we'll end the session there. Party reunited. Certus, our beloved, has gone off, retired from the party.
Bye, Certus.
He was low-key so
Bye,
close to
Certus.
leaving.
He left so quickly. It's just finally.
Yeah, there was
This
no
is
way
not
Certus was
allowed.
going on with the rest of this plan, right? There's no way.
No.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But yeah, cool. We have that. Kalesh has the compass. You've given him the compass, so you guys will use that. We'll trek through the desert, and hopefully maybe you guys can figure out how the fuck you're going to be able to get to the oasis, and we'll see. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Oh, by the way, level 10.
Yay, let's go.
Let's go.
Congration.
Start at school. Remain level 9 because fuck that guy. No.
Fuck.
I
Sirius.
killed a. Look. I gotta be real. It's because of me. I'm the only one who killed anything this session, and it was a deer. That
That's
deer
right.
was worth
That-
a million experience.
That's right. It was a legendary deer for sure.
It was a legendary deer. I one-shot it,
yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
Wow.
I will
Dang.
get your feat that we talked about, June, at some point before
Okay.
the next session. I'll add that in. Yeah. Okay. You guys. Hell yeah. So
Roll my health.
you guys will go and Kalesh will be with you when this happens. So
Gotcha.
he's a
Okay.
temporary party member.
Think.
Wait, hold on. Let me
He's kind of good actually.
I mean, you gave him the Sasuke wing, so I mean,
I did. Yeah.
He,
No, I
he
did.
better be goated.
He's good. Kalesh, yeah. Sick. Okay.
Where did my D10 go?
See 1-1. Okay.
There's my D10.
So we got Kalesh here. There he is. Hey, Kalesh.
Hey, Clash.
Hey, Kalash.
Hey, Kalash.
let me grab everyone out here. So this is the current squad. June's back. Yay! I almost put Wendy in.
Yay.
Yay. Why
I
does
can know-
Paolo
Oh,
look
wait.
so just like emaciated?
Where's Isaac? There he is.
That was how she came back. That was the description.
Yep.
You
She's
give her a sandwich.
Give her a sandwich. Give her a sandwich.
Give that beast a snack now.
Okay. So next session will be next week. I'm pretty sure. Oh wait. Hold up. It's Josh's birthday next Sunday.
Ooh. That means another level up, right?
another
Yeah.
level up. Another
Birthday
level.
Level 11.
Birthday
Level
level
11.
Yeah, buddy.
I will not be here next weekend.
Okay. Yeah, it is Cinco de Mayo. Will we have a session next week? You guys will be free, or are we just gonna call it?
We've got 2 people down already, so
Well, I just said it was Josh's birthday. Josh, what you're doing something for your birthday, right?
I probably will be doing something on my birthday.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's
like, if I am available, it probably won't be at the time that we normally do our session, I think.
Yeah, and with Marco not being part of, like, being out
Okay.
for a
Yeah.
while. Yeah, okay. So no session next week. We'll get this back up the weekend after.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, guys. This was fun.